right. So it's gonna be the three of us today. So I'm with it. Unless we get somebody else to the chat, they come through. We will bring these. We'll bring them in. I get them set up on the stream. We'll have a guest. I did hit up Kenny though. Kenny said he'll let me know if he can come through. So if I see Kenny stumble in here, or if we just get a guest in the chat that I feel like can bring something to the conversation, he can join the Discord and he can start chopping it up with us because we do got the spot. But folks, I ain't gonna hold y'all up here any longer. Okay, yeah, Hotseat has an open seat, baby. That's all it is to it. And Glenn, I hope you're having a great day, man. All right. So, folks, welcome to the Hotseat. I do believe we are on episode 12, coming off that last one that we did with Perpetrate, Jackal, and Coach Great, the coaches of the league. And so much love to those guys for coming on through. And yeah, so we had a great conversation there. Today, I got Deluxe and I got Sneak. Originally, we had a few other guests to come on. We asked Shock and the boys, but they not feeling too well right now, respectfully. So, I had asked Reptilian, but they ended up having a scrim today against Rise, and they had some scrim set up against Hive. So, little scrim for the PDHM, got a little scrim time for the PDHM guys. I wanted to get those two LCQ teams in and kind of talk to them about their progress, but I'm happy I got Sneak on the show. We was trying to get Morty as well, but, I catch Morty another day. If he comes through, he comes through. But regardless of the fact, man, Sneak, how you doing? You just started today. This is all about you. Me and Deluxe are cool, but you're the coolest man in the room right now.
Chilling. I'm chilling.
Chilling like a villain.
I'm literally having fun. I'm talking about having fun.
Yo, you having some of the best fun in your life. Hell. Especially while we going through the show, go click on your user settings in your mic and make sure that your threshold isn't on auto and kind of open that up a little bit so when you talking, your voice don't clip as well. So we can get those full sentences and hear that beautiful voice of yours when you're talking. Yeah. And Lux, how you doing today, man?
Doing good. Anytime we can talk about gears for a little bit, it's always a good day. Sucks being in this little quarantine still, but we've had tons of gears action every day, streams, events, podcasts, shows. So been a lot going on with gears, and I'm glad there is, and hopefully it keeps going on as we go forward.
Yo, and much love to you for letting me cast some of the LCQ matches with you the other day. I know we couldn't cast no pain matches. But, it's all good. Sneak had his stream.
Hold on. Actually, I DM'd Sneak. Let me see what he replied. Oh, he didn't reply at all.
Oh,
my bad.
Put him on the spot.
I'm just going to leave it there. I'll leave it
Listen, I'm not going to lie. I got dropped last time, so my word means nothing. You feel me?
You said you got dropped last time? Yeah.
Hey, my word means nothing. You feel me? I just do what I got to do to get the job done at this point.
Well, you know what? And let's kind of go into it right there before we get into that LCQ, because I didn't get a chance to cast you last Pro League. I ain't really, I go from hyping you up every Sunday and talking Major Gaming, and then, you have your performance in Mexico. We talked a little bit about how you guys felt going into that event. Then post the event, you guys still kind of kept 4 players from the same roster, but y'all lost y'all Pro League spot. All right, so now y'all playing through the LCQ. You guys going through the online major, but, you guys recently just played in the LCQ and you earned it back. So tell me about, how has your Gears of War experience been over these last few months? And you can kind of pick that up from post-Mexico, what happened with the major squad. Now you guys got Morty. You still kind of got the 4 there. You've been teaming with Lava and Exclusive throughout this entire time, throughout the season. That's pretty much been your core 3, rather if it's been Hezi there, Morty there, or Versa there. So tell me about, why you guys kind of made that roster change coming off Mexico City and, leading up into this LCQ.
So, pretty much Mexico City wasn't, the performance everybody wanted, of course. I'm not sure if I get the mic thing correct. I actually forgot what you said. I was trying to look for it as you were saying it.
Yeah, no, you sound good. So you see the little user settings there at the bottom?
Yeah.
Click the gear user settings. Let's go to voice and video. And then, when it comes down to the input sensitivity, make sure it's not checked as automatically determined input sensitivity. talking, drag that bar down so that bar is picking up your whole voice.
Wait, how about now?
Yeah, you sound good right now.
Wait, I just did it, and I've never done that before.
Yeah, so no, so what happens is that when you kind of like mumble or you talk low and you don't finish that sentence, since you're not talking as loud, it may clip under that slider and the mic will not pick it up. So anything that happens in that yellow, we will not hear. Anything in the green, we will hear. So when you're talking a full sentence, just make sure that slider is below your talking values. Your speaking
Kind of
values.
nice.
Yeah. So your little pro tip.
I've
So
never
make
done that
sure. So
before.
yeah, now next time you and your team is in Discord, if you guys use Discord, make sure everybody on the squad does that, so that when they're making call outs, that the call outs come through. You know, you want a live open mic there for you on the squad. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of fire, yo. I never
Yo,
done
you
that.
want one more pro tip here? Check this out. You guys go into your audio settings for gears, and I put praised on game, and this is what I do. So usually, typically, all the gears audio settings are maxed out on 10. I bring my music all the way down to 0 because I hate that music. And well, the music is great, but I'd rather play my own music. And then what I'll do from that point is I will keep the game and character dialogue on 10. And I'll bring down all the other sounds as environmental sounds and cinematics. I'll bring those down about 8 or 7. Now, what this does is that you'll have to readjust your volume, but when you are fighting people in 1v1s and characters are reloading, you hear their cinematic, you hear their voice volume a lot more over the explosions and gunshots. So when you hear the locust grunt, reloading, all of that. And as we know, at a top level, Gears audio cues are king. The audio cues are king. And when you hear characters grunt, that's how you know if they're full red or not and what their health values is and people being sneaky around the map. So
Yeah, that was a tip in Gal 3. Like, pretty much, like, the execution of GBs, like, when everyone, like, hide around, like, that was pretty much how you found somebody. Like, if you hear a boom shop come out, like, from behind their back, you know, it has a little clunk or whatever. So, the audio is, like, definitely... I did not know that, though. Thank you.
Nah, all good. See, guys, we're putting out tips every single day to make sure that you guys are the best Gears of War players in the world. All right? And that you guys can go out there and frag out. So now that we took care of the mic stuff and we gave out audio tips for Gears of War, you know, you guys go into Mexico City, Mazer Gaming. You guys, you know, eliminate NRG, the event before. You know, the Pro League has been a difficult performance. You know, Hive took the top spot that season. You guys get top 8 Mexico. Now it's time for roster changes. What's happening?
Unfortunately, we just... Like, it was like everyone kind of knew that we was, like, underprepared, you know? But at the same time, like, the way we lost, it, like, pretty much our performance during that event, you know what I mean? Like, how we lost and, like, the matches that was played and shit like that, it was, like, really unfortunate. It was one of those, like, nah,
yeah, like we should have won that when it came out on top.
Yeah, so, like, everyone, like, kind of, like, left that event, like, question. It was, like, it was what it was, you know, like, once it happens, like, once you get eliminated, it is what it is, but at the same time, you're like, damn, what just happened, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way. So, like, pretty much, like, I would say there was, like, differences between 5 of us that was on the roster, like, at the time. But it pretty much came to be, like, all the little stuff that anybody would have, like, would come out. You know what I mean? Like, any, like, of your little mistakes from anybody, you know what I mean, would pretty much be used to pretty much say, like, you know, like, damn, that's the reason why, you know what I mean? And it sucks because whether true or not,
Finger
like...
pointing.
Yeah, like, but whether it's true or not, like, some of the stuff is true. It's just, like, it's annoying because, like, none of us really know what happened because none of us watched. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks because, like, I would feel like, I always say, like, damn, like, I don't want to say nothing until I watch it, you know what I mean? And it sucks because, like, even if you watch it by yourself, everyone has to watch it, you know what I mean? Like, if y'all, and it's hard to, like, watch it after the event together, you know what I mean? How to watch a loss, like, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, but you
like,
gotta
that
do
would
it.
prevent
You
a lot of
gotta do
roster
it,
changes.
though.
Yeah, I feel like that would prevent a lot of roster changes, but, like, unfortunately, like, we just didn't have time for that, like, and, like, everyone's just annoyed, you know what I mean? Like, everyone wanted to do something different, like, whether it was, like, drop me, drop Hezzy, drop Justin, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Do something, like...
Where's Vor at in all of this?
So, like, Chris, like, I can't lie, like, you have to, like, also take it back to, like, Maze's situation or whatever. So, like, you also have to think for somebody to, like, be dedicating themselves for, like, sit there and watch pretty much, like, 5 children in it.
True.
Like, whether we want to admit it or not, like, it's really like from a coach's standpoint. Like I've also like looked at it some coach's standpoint. And
Yeah.
like I'm really just sitting here watching a chess match. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
and like if you're not getting paid to do that, like that kind of like gets annoying after a while. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so like Bora ended up just pretty much like saying like, like I love y'all, but I just can't do this no more. Like I'd rather play. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather
Yeah.
take my chance. You know what I mean? Like thank y'all for giving me the opportunity to coach. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather, you know.
Yeah, no, I respect it. I respect it out of Vor, and because the one thing is when it comes down to coaching, is that you need to have the respect of your teammates in order to really critique them and for them to take that information in. And I think that's something that's super valuable. And some coaches need to be proven and have a little resume coming up into that, unless you are just that close and great friends with the entire team, and you bring that much to it. Because you start telling somebody, how they jacked up on their rotations and what they doing. When you're going over strats and scrim, it's always that one guy on your team who just think that everything that he say is right, and he's just like, you know what, you wasn't in the fight, you don't know what I'm saying, you don't know what I saw here and there.
I mean, it just sucks. It sucks too. I'm sorry to cut you off because, like, from Vor's perspective, like, they like from a coach's perspective, they only want to help. You know what I mean? Like, they only want to help you guys as best as they can, but like sometimes like what they say is not helpful, or what I mean, or something like what I mean, and like it sucks. It actually sucks because like they don't have to be there. You know what I mean? So once you get that thought in your head, like I don't have to do this. You know what I mean? Like I could really be doing something else. Like boom. Especially when like a situation like this, like
especially if
with
you're
this
not getting
pandemic.
paid to, right?
Exactly.
That's
That's what I was just about
time.
to say. Like
If you
you're
get
not getting
shooting
paid,
gears and you ain't getting paid, you might as well go play.
especially like coming from getting paid too. You know what I mean? Like, and of course, like we're all not in that situation, but at the same time, like you know what I mean, from a coach's perspective, like that's why I also like with Wicked, like I'm like, man, like you also have to appreciate them for even doing it because at the same time they don't have to. Like they don't have to.
Yeah,
It
it's a
is
lot
what
of
it
work
is.
too. I mean, like they got to do all that boring, tedious work. Schedule scrims, VOD, recording, and maps and picks and like record. I mean, a good coach at least will do all that kind of stuff for you. So it's a lot of work, and I think a lot of times what happens is with, I mean, I guess amateur coaches or new coaches where, and I always say myself, like, because I consider sometimes going into it myself, where like they're not going to be able to like if things are going wrong, they're not always going to be able to tell you like how to play the game. You know what I mean? If someone makes a dumb move or like if you don't know the basics of the rotations or what you got going on, like that coach is most of the time not going to be able to like point it out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like when I think of a coach, I think of him being able to prepare you guys for an event. But a lot of people I think get like frustrated with like you mentioned them saying something where it's not helping because like it's kind of like if you mess up in that little moment, it's like what can they really do?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot of tedious work. A lot of tedious work though.
It is a lot of tedious work here and there. How did you this is something that I've just always been personally curious about, and I guess I could ask you guys a while back, but how did you guys lose your pro league spot? And having to get stuck in the Challenger series.
So pretty much like when I got dropped, uh, when they went to play with Speedy, that didn't go too well.
Mm-hmm.
So they went to pick me back up. Pretty much finessed the system, which didn't work. Like, but so like pretty much trying to finesse the system didn't work. So it just got to the point where like, all right, like, okay, like you know what I mean? Like we might as well just for me like
Stick
just
it out.
go through the gutter. You know what I mean? Like so it just got to the point to where like realistically, it's like, do you want to like did they want to play with Dylan throughout the entirety of the pro league? You know what I mean? Like yes, you will get paid, yes, you'll get compensation, but like what will your placing be? Like how will you feel? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So I don't think they want to do that. So they picked me back up.
They tried putting Sneak in the coach's spot and then getting him onto the roster, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, it didn't work out at all.
They tried to
So
that.
it was pretty much like hey, like it is what it is. Like, but at the same time, like in my head, I was mad, but like I also was like, well, like that's what happens. Like in my head, I didn't feel like I get dropped, so I was like, all right, like okay. So and it sucked for all of us, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's just fucked.
so it was like it was a learning experience, like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like it's just not something I could get mad about. Like it was just annoying.
You guys can't, y'all
It
tried
was literally annoying, you know what I mean? So it was just like, all right, just survive. Maybe like this will like get us to play more, you know what I mean? Like, so.
Now, how do you feel
else too? Oh, sorry, Blaze, you got it.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about the rules to get into the pro league, where you guys kind of need those same three players from the roster, and that process, because we saw what happened with recently with the rise and the quarantine spot pretty much being dropped, or the rise spot being dropped, and then Rebel getting bumped up in the league. They automatically got that, and now we got two positions open. But you're gonna get a few players who just kind of got the crappy end of the stick. We saw Shock and the boys; they didn't make it in. But how do your squad feel going through that process? Because you guys dropped out, grinded, and now y'all have made it back through.
Oh, first off, like you gotta want to. That stuff is like kind of tough to be like. You gotta want to play the game, like it's kind of tough to like lose your pro league spot and then like be like, man, now I have to go through the Challenger Series. You know what I mean? Like now I got to play a whole tournament every Sunday. You know what I mean? Like where compared to just playing one match, well, this past quarter would have been 2 matches. But it's like it's annoying. It's like tedious, but like you just gotta do it. You know what I mean? And that's why we just look at it as like, all right, well, doing this will be more practice. You know what I mean? It would give us more practice pretty much for the major. And that's where it was.
How many matches you usually get on a Sunday?
It's more matches than it used to be. You know what I mean? It's like a 2K, and like you said, with pretty much how do I feel with like the keeping 3 people to keep a roster, like at the same time, like we could take it back to Gears 4, like that goes back to pro points. Like it's kind of like I hate to say it's not pro points, but like people did the same thing. They got those 3 players with the most pro points, and they tried to, you know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like I don't want to say it, even if it wasn't 3 players, but like whoever had the, you know what I mean? Like
whoever had them.
It's kind of like it's the format which sucks, and everyone's gonna try to like exploit it as best they can. But like regardless of the situation, somebody's gonna get screwed. Which is why like my situation, I get dropped like hours before roster lock. I wake up, dropped. There's nothing I can do. I can't get back up. Detox and Shocker's situation, they get dropped 2 days before roster lock. They have to scramble and try to make a team, like try to qualify for, you know what I mean? Like they miss a qualifier, you know what I mean, to make it to the last chance qualifier, so it's like, what do 2 people do who just got third, you know what I mean? So it's like,
they get third,
and they don't get in the league again, you know what I mean? And now it's like,
find a team that got a spot in the qualifier. I get what you're saying.
So it's like, it's annoying. It's actually annoying, but there's literally nothing you could do. But
you
like,
touched on my question a little bit too. I was gonna ask you a question. You partially answered it, but and I know you had a lot of things going on with like school and athletics and all that kind of stuff. We mentioned that before we're on stream, but looking back now, like you guys had to play through challengers. You went into the online major. You had kind of a tough bracket there. Didn't do so well. Looking back on it, do you think how big do you think pro league is? Like when you had to go through challengers, do you think that diminished your drive to play, or do you think like that drove you even further to play harder because you wanted to earn that spot back?
So like our team's like, I mean, I hate to be honest, but like our team was like kind of weird at that time. Like,
you honest.
It is what it is, but like that major situation like messed everybody's heads up. Just be realistic, like
that's what I'm trying.
I'm
trying to get here.
So it got to the point. It just got to the point to where it's like, man, like this, like, and I'm not saying like, everyone thinks it's boring, but like, if one person thinks it's boring, it's kind of clipped for whatever percentage amount it is. And I'm not gonna lie, majority of that time that's me. Like I just be like, all right, this is boring, and I hate to say that, but like that was me.
Which is the boring part? Which is the boring part?
It's just like it was doing so much like from the school, like from the athletics, like blah blah blah, and then like trying to like still get online and know that like get online and know that like I still have to. You know what I mean? Like if I don't like, you know what I mean, put my, you feel me?
Yeah.
If I don't put my percentage in, then like it's not gonna do nothing. And what sucks is, as soon as that one person is not giving 100%, like somebody else is gonna be like, all right, like he's not doing it, so
I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
right.
You know
the whole team that night of scrimmage is washed.
It sucks because it's just like that. Like that's how we were. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, bro, see, he's not talking about like. You know what I mean? Like,
while you're being honest now, and you don't have to answer this, of course, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
You got Jeff trying his hardest, like Lava's trying his hardest, like Vor's trying his hardest, like, or then you got days with me, like me and Morty's trying our hardest. Hazzy's always trying his hardest. You know what I mean? But like, it's annoying. You know what I mean? It sucks.
Yeah.
Now you guys been y'all been grinding for it, like, so you've been living this Gears lifestyle for a long time, since Gears 4 of balancing between the schools and the scrims and having to get on and give that max effort, because you're doing it, academically.
And that's what sucks. It's not just me. Like, it's also them as well. I'm sorry to cut you off. Like, my other teammates got school.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking. I'm speaking of the whole roster, right?
You know what I mean? Lava's doing stuff too. Like, it was annoying.
Yeah. So you guys have to get on, and somebody I think the real one of the issues here is that how everybody respects their teammates' time. Okay, how you put that in perspective. That all right, you know what? All these guys have put aside 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is to scrim. Right? You acknowledge that at the start. We all put in time in a scrim today, and we all have made it here. So let's all give it 100% and do our best, but not for me, not because I want to be the best player, not because I want to win, but because I want to help you guys win. And I think that if more players can frame it that way and be more selfless in a sense towards it, even though of course we all want to win, right? But when you want to win for your teammates, you do a little bit more. You start watching some flanks. You start pulling out that Lancer to support them up. You start really, going in there clutching a 1v2 and a 1v3 for them, not for your own pressure, not for your own success. And, and now thinking about it, I think if players frame it that way, it'll help them out a little bit better. Because think about it like this. I know for me, when I used to play, I'm like, okay, how do I go out here and, drop 15 kills, 20 bombs in execution back then and really show people that I'm good. But, when you put that pressure on yourself, it makes it a little bit harder. And me being a team player and just trying to, make my Slayers look good or, help out Bobby, Kenny, Carlitos, whoever it was, Boss, being able to support and play for them, I end up dropping the 10, 15 kills and not even thinking about it, because I'm playing for the team. I'm playing for my people. So,
All right. It's all right. I mean, you just got to get used to it. And it sucks because I'm telling you, those motivational factors, those little things, you just literally just described, those little things all count. They all matter. And since when you're playing online, trust me, it's hard to 100% That's what I'm saying. And it sucks because if somebody wouldn't say or act a certain way if they were next to you, you know what I mean? When you guys are on land, so you have to be online and try to do that 100%. We had a problem with that, realistically. I'm not gonna lie.
So
it is what it is.
What do you think the solution is to get more teams to be able to get locked in like that? Right? Is it identifying the player who it is? Well, I'm gonna let you answer.
I mean, you gotta be straight up. With us, and the thing is, we've been together for so long, we're able to be straight up with each other. You know what I mean? Just hey, hit a shot, bro. What are you doing? You know what I mean? And not say it in a way to be yo, you suck, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Step it up, you suck, do better, blah, blah, blah. It's just bro, you just gotta hit it. If you hit him one time, realistically, really, if you hit him one time, he's dead. You know what I mean? Or you can't die there. You really can't die there. You know what I mean? Me yesterday, when I was streaming the LCQ, I know I'm in a dead spot, you know what I mean? But I know when I die, they're gonna be damn, I know they're about to get cash. You know what I mean? It's like that now, but it wasn't like before. You know what I mean?
I got a question for you.
I feel
anybody on
accountability.
Your team, anybody on your team, can they hold you accountable, right? Any of your teammates right now in your squad, can they come to you and hold you accountable, Sneak, and say, hey, Sneak, I don't know how you done win that 1v1, or Sneak, can I give you some tips? Will you be willing to accept their intel?
And what sucks is 100% all the time I'm not. And I know that's why I'm not the perfect player. You know what I mean? All the time I'm gonna be oh, I could have did this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then it'll be nah, even me and Mortify is literally, I can tell you this is me and Justin. This is day to day. We respect each other's criticism, but we could be man, bro, just come with me. You should have came with me, or you shouldn't have did this. I told you not to go there. You know what I mean? In the way we may say it may be harsh, but it would be that's real. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I can still call him at the end of the day. You know what I mean? We just sit there and talk on the phone. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. You just gotta have that respect. Everybody on our team can hold each other accountable. And while we may not want to say something, our old team was not like that. We just be whoa, okay, well, we gotta do something else now. You know what I mean? You all teams and it sucks because I was talking about this yesterday. Not yesterday, a few days ago. We were scrimming Eternity's team, and I'm not gonna say who the player was.
Yeah.
And somebody's just flying around. And I'm just bro, do you know that you're wasting the other 4 players' time on their team? No, on their team. I'm bro, do you think that he knows that he's just wasting everybody else on his team knows that this player is wasting the rest of their time? And I'm not gonna say no names, bro, but I'm just bro, hello.
Say a name.
No. And I'm hello, and I'm just hello. Do y'all see this? And it's annoying because that's real. People really go to.
Well, and you can see it on the map, but it's funny that you say that. Like, do they know what he's doing? Because you guys see it playing against the squad, but sometimes their comms can be hectic. We don't have mini maps, right? Unless they got a coach in there recording it, or unless they just see holding that LB button and somebody, the IGL, understands where everybody's moving on the map. That one guy could just be spawning and pushing, spawning and pushing. Spawning and pushing, or just doing something.
Not saying nothing. Not saying nothing.
Not saying anything. Like, oh man, I just didn't win the fight, or But the way he's taking the fights is ridiculous sometimes.
It's actually funny because like you are a caster, so I know you can look at the overhead map and be like, and you can just be like, yo, I know he ain't saying nothing. They ain't
I don't know if they know what's happening.
They're not gonna say nothing to him. You know what I mean? Because he the captain, or you feel me? They scared of him, so it sucks because that's real.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day. It was so funny that because I know there's some players out there who are just like, yo, man, the stress of carrying one of my teammates is just too much because of the amount of power that my teammate may have, right? Because like, let's say you're on a team and it's a core 3 out there, right? It's a core 3 on the squad. One guy is not getting dropped, but this dude can be the issue. But he's best friends with the other 2 good players on the squad. Now you on a team here and you're like, man, I'm just trying to save this dude. I'm just trying to make plays, but I can't. But at the same time, he's really making mistakes, and I can't say nothing to him because I'm scared of getting dropped.
I hate to be that guy. I think that's the situation DeMarco was in. I hate to be that guy, but like
that he couldn't say nothing, or people couldn't say nothing.
I mean, like it is what it is. Like I'm not saying nobody can say nothing to DeMarco. It's just like I'm just saying like there's certain players who aren't going to get released from a roster regardless of what anyone says at all.
True.
And those players are the ones who are putting in the most pain. You know what I mean? So, what can you say sometimes? You know what I mean? Like, so it's hard. It's actually.
That is. It can be difficult. When it comes down to, especially when it comes down to roster mania. Before we actually kind of dive into that topic, I feel like everything for LCQ we really touched bases on. Oh my God, the homie
baited him. We baited him.
We made big come. Oh yo, he's right
here. So
here.
can I ask Sneak? And you don't have to answer this, of course, but you can. I'm gonna throw it out there anyway. Mm-hmm. So LCQ, there's pretty much 3 teams that we're gonna. Out of the 3 teams, 2 teams are gonna make it. Pretty much, it was like a guarantee. There was Reborn, there was you, and there was PDHM. That was like. If anything other than 2 of those 3 teams come out, would be shocked. If things didn't go your way, were you guys prepared to battle through challengers again? And do you think your team would have taken like a big hit off that loss?
Like saying if we didn't make Pro League?
Like if you didn't make Pro League, yeah. Like were you prepared to battle through challengers again, or you think you would take some time away for a little bit, come back? Closer to the event, like would you be grinding right away after that to try and get back to form, or
probably 100% positive we would have kept playing because we just did the whole challengers thing.
Yeah.
It sucks, but like one thing we just told ourselves was like, there's no way we're like I mean like not being in the league again. You know what I mean? Like we're too good for that. You know what I mean? So even when you said those 3 teams, you know what I mean? Like we were prepared to play either PDHM or Reborn. So it wasn't.
Right. And it's like I mean. I hate to say I'm not gonna mention names, like you don't mention names either, but like there's teams that if they didn't qualify for Pro League, like we're probably not seeing those teams anymore. So
I mean that's how I felt about Shock's team, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think
it's a done deal.
I think you know what? I don't think Shock's team they got quitters on there, man. I think they'll
probably stay together. I think they're gonna stay together now.
They might make a team. There's 2 options. Either they make a team for challengers and play for that, or I know there's been talks with them and the Rebel or whatever you want to call them. They're not really officially Rebel yet, I guess, but like that team of Sleepy, Jeff, and Rezik. So I don't know where the talks have gone, like if it's anything happening, but I know for sure they talked to each other or at least to management. And then on the other option, they can make a challenger team. So I don't know what's going to come out of it, but those are the options pretty much they have now.
Yeah, it's not too many.
Maybe Ink can comment too. Ink's in chat, so maybe we can give some words on that as well.
Okay, yeah. And what do you want Ink to give a comment on? Which part, real quick?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, I know that Shock and Detox have at least talked to Rebel about that team, but I don't know where it's gone or if they're going to make their own team for challengers or what may be. But that's pretty much their options now. If they want to get in Pro League, they have to get on a squad that's formed already, and if not, they
Yeah,
get to play
or
the Challengers.
maybe midway through somebody needs a guy, right? And somebody needs a guy midway through, and they're like, okay, cool, we got it. We got you, and they can kind of go hop in on a spot or something like that. But that's the only way I can see it happening. But at the end of the day, they can stick out with their roster and it'll be all good, and they'll see what happens with them. So, but firstly, I want to say, we got Kenny Bounce in the building. As you guys see, I put his beautiful face up there. I put his little Twitch, his username on the screen. Yo, Kenny, what's good?
Great.
Yep. I decided to take a break from this game development thing I'm doing here and hop in here. I wanted to make sure I wasn't. Yeah, I've been working on this thing on the side. It's a conversation for a different point, but I'm doing pretty well.
Okay, nice.
I've openly said that my path once I'm done competing is going into game development, and that's where I want to go. So
I love it.
I love it too, right? Yo, my boy knows exactly where he want to go.
All I'm saying is I need an alpha code, a beta code, I need an early access, whatever you got going multiplayer.
I'm working on coding Pong right now. Like that's.
Oh my god.
That's the two little rectangles going up and down the screen. You gotta start somewhere.
I received an awesome opportunity. I got like 2-3 awesome opportunities recently, but one is this research paper, and I'm gonna do a lot of talking about the effect that gaming has kind of had on the lifestyle and on my body physically and mentally, and especially throughout the years of esports, and going to work with somebody to put some information together and some plans of action for some gamers who may need it. So I'm excited to work on that and really do some good and try to help out some people right here. Yo, look at IBN in the building. We still at the top. Okay, somehow hey, they can't say much about it, but we find a way to get it done. Done. Yes.
Can I clear up something that's going on in the chat right now? Like I see typing it.
What you see in chat?
So he brought up something about Fran's stream. Like just to put this out there.
Okay.
I did see Fran's stream. I addressed Fran privately.
What did Fran say? Can you give us the full context of it for the show?
So pretty much what Fran said on the stream, he was talking about the whole Rise situation and how, pretty much with me and Vic leaving, going to UIU, how from their view that happened, and then they picked up Brian and Morty. What went on with Brian and Morty, and then them leading to Rise, right?
Yep.
The only thing I wanted to clear up real quick, and I messaged him about it. My main thing is that, I'm not gonna sit here and blast out a tweet on Twitter. I don't need to do that.
I feel it.
I've gone to multiple of my ex-teammates privately, and I've spoken to them and addressed the situation. And I'm gonna do the same thing here because this is, something I've seen come up. Okay. One, me and Vic did not leave for money. When me and Vic were in the process of dealing with whatever issues on the team and wanting to leave, we thought reciprocity was still in the scene. We did not leave for money. We had to pay a buyout, just to be clear. When reciprocity was leaving, we still had to pay money to get out of our contract. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing,
and money
what Fran said about, correct, money was paid. And the second thing is about us. Hold on. It just jumped out of my mind.
Okay, okay.
First thing is the money. Second thing was us leaving before Mexico. We were not off the team before Mexico. During Mexico, we were off the team after Mexico. There's a rumor going around that we met up with UIU in a hotel room Sunday night, and we were talking to them.
Oh.
Sneak was in the front of the building. Sneak saw me in the front of the building. I was speaking.
We were talking about something else.
Yeah, I'm speaking on the side of the building to his teammate. Okay, so you can.
I was there. I think I was there too.
Yeah, you can pinpoint me with people
too,
Sunday night since winning. You can pinpoint my location. So there was no snaking that happened before the event or during the event. If you want to consider what me and Vic did snaking, that's fine. That you can put whatever term you want on it. But nothing happened. No conversations. No issues happened until after the event. So I just wanted to clear that up because that was some
y'all heard it here first on the hot seat, folks.
So that's that. And to also clear up this other thing, if you go back and listen to Fran's rebroadcast, a lot of the issues and a lot of the things that he spoke on about practices, effort, attitudes, like things like that, that was a big part of what led them to wanting to go to Rise and taking the situation they had, even though they were one round away from winning the online major.
Yep.
a lot of those same reasons applied to why me and Vic felt the way that we did. So if you want to call us snakes, then you better start, tattooing the name on them too, because they essentially acted in a similar way to we did for pretty much similar reasons. So I just wanted to clear that up and throw that out there. And
Hey,
that's that.
and I appreciate you for coming through and clearing that up. Definitely do here. And I would say from my point of view, when it all happened, even though granted I had my conversations with you, and even though when all the rumors came out, like this is how I saw it. You still got Mental, Praise, and Explosive as a team of 3 out here in the market, right? And these guys are trying to put together a roster to take you guys down. Now, if you had issues with your team leading up to that event, and even though you guys won it, there's still a shift that's happening throughout Roster Mania. And it sucks to say, but that trio of players can cause a huge shift across the board. Now, if they go out there, let's say they don't get Kitty and Powers, maybe they get someone like, Noe TJ or, Shock, whoever it may be, whoever they could have picked up, it's still going to be a scary roster. And, if you can make a boss move, which I thought what you did was a boss move, and there was a lot of foresight involved, even though if I was Fran, Icy, and Rush, I'd still probably be mad at you. I'm like, bro, we just won the fucking event.
I fully expect that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we just won the fucking event. Like, I just won an event. I'm not expecting to lose my teammate. But you still made a godly team, though.
I give a lot of respect to Nick because out of everybody on my previous team, he's the person, like, I think 2 days after the change happened, that was on the phone with me. And I said to him, like, right to him on the phone, like, I don't expect you to be happy with me. I don't expect you to be on these great terms with me. If I was in your shoes, I would be upset, right? But, this is what we felt like was best. This is what we felt like was going to win us multiple events afterwards. Like, just like their goal is to continue winning. In that moment, I'll speak for me with what I was seeing in scrims, the issues I was seeing, and the problems I was seeing in front of me. It made sense.
Yep.
You got 3 hungry players. You got a strong 5 you could bring together. It makes sense, and I expect them to be upset with me. I expect them to not be happy with me. I expect them to take it personally because I know how people react. I know how I would react. I fully understand it. I'm not trying to disrespect them in any way, shape, or form. All 3 of those players are good. Great players, actually. I'll go back on it. There's 3 great players there. Me and Vic felt a certain way, and we felt like this was the best thing for us to do. And that's we did what we needed to, paying a buyout to get to play with Gilbert, Billy, and a roadie, and that's it. That's at the end of the day. I didn't want to turn the hot seat into this, by the way.
Well, no. But Kenny, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about.
We know nothing. We know nothing. We know nothing.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Like,
and you know what? I'm happy that you got a chance to. I'm happy that you got a chance to say your piece and clear it up, because like, to me, it's a boss move, because in order to check this out, guys, this is what you guys also have to understand as well, that to do esports full time as a professional player, no matter where you are, player, commentator, content creator, you have to go with the trends. And you have to make moves when you feel like it's right. You can't get left behind the curve. Sometimes you got to follow the money, or you got to follow where your best option is to get the money and where you got to go. If not, you may get left behind. And I think it's a good move. Look at hindsight. Okay, cool. You stay. Imagine you stay. You lose your org. Those guys pick up some more players. If arguments still continue to happen, yeah, it's a chance that y'all might win. But you break up the next event, you could lose out on the next 2. But you won.
Part of my feeling is I think me and Vic leaving, and because I'm reading what Buster said in the chat, I think me and Vic leaving gave that team more drive and made them like those practice habits that they were having that like weren't as good. But I mean, Fran said that they were running into their arguments still, but they probably practiced harder, or they had more effort going into the next event. Whereas, like, I feel like if me and Vic would have stayed, we would have been going through the same issues. And granted, we've been dealing with those issues since even like I think right after San Diego. Like, I think you could pinpoint our first scrims after San Diego just being miserable from the first day till when we played in Mexico. So like, I feel like we contribute to that. And I don't know, another thing too is people need to stop disrespecting Morty. Morty's a good ass player, and
I was trying to get
he just
Morty
wasn't
on
in the right
today.
roles. Yeah, no, Morty's a good player. Like I was even fighting him in awkward spots. Like when do you ever see Morty in a 1v1 spot? Morty and
right?
Rush
Because
to me are very similar.
because
And then he's
Morty has.
playing a spot
Mhm.
that Rush. I feel like if you put Rush in those same spots, not that Rush is bad, but I feel like Rush and Morty are both best suited in front spawn
There
roles,
you
right?
go.
Front spawn
Okay.
spots.
Yeah.
And moving either one of them away from that is going to take away from the kind of player they are. That's going to like mess up the stats you're going to see and the role they bring to the team. They're not going to be used to the best of their ability, you know. So
Mhm.
people need to stop disrespecting Morty because I'm pretty sure sneaking them. I haven't even scrimmed, haven't played against. I'm sure Morty's back in his front spawn role and
Mhm.
he's more comfortable and he's probably back to just banging people and dropping the numbers
And
that he
I
normally
got
did.
his spot.
You got his spot.
Yeah, no, he's got the marks, he's got shots,
Oh yeah, you got
he's
his
got his
spots.
back.
I got you. There you go. Sneak say I got his back. Okay, I got the 6. I got a spot, and I'm back to shooting for my guy once again, like you guys were beforehand. How you feel about that, Sneak? What Kenny just said about Morty?
I mean, it's like it's the truth, and like I mean, it's weird that Kenny just said that because exclusive also we were watching VOD like recently. Exclusive pointed out to Morty, and he said like the way you play with us is not how you play with them. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like and he it's not even from the spawns. He brought it up from like his play style. You know what I mean? Like using Lancers. Like as Kenny just said, like you're in this spot. Like why are you right here?
Yep.
Like like exclusive. Like you've never done that for us. You know what I mean? Like I want you to play like that. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
literally like that's the truth to it. Like Kenny's 100%. It's right, and it sucks because they were one round away, and if they win, if they keep it the same roster, who knows?
Different story, right?
Apparently they don't. France said they don't. So shit.
Yeah. I think from what I think they probably still make the roster change in the end. You know, I think they probably still make that roster change. Just trying to stay ahead of the curve there. But hey, he played well. People gave him a lot of slick for the incinerating days that he missed in the finals and being under pressure. And and that's his first grand finals too as well. A lot of people ain't never made it to a grand finals. And having to play it in the conditions in which you are. You're playing for 80,000 at home. I don't know if that's more stressful or more comfortable to do so. You guys, you play, Kenny. Was it, you think it was more stressful having to win that from home, or having to do it on land? And actually, what was that moment like for you winning it?
Um, I don't know if it's more stressful on land because I think for me personally, it was more stressful for my bedroom because I take like pride and I'm very confident when we go to land, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a better version of the game and it's a better version of me. So
Yeah.
like I'm more confident like on land, but I feel like the pressure was pretty equal. The same amount of money's on the line, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like none of us are prepared to play for $80,000 in the bedroom. So I feel like it was the same amount, especially with a close match like that and that much being on the line. It still was like the same amount of pressure, I guess. And
Yeah.
then winning it, like
Tell them,
I
tell them about
enjoyed
that
winning
winning
San
that
Diego a
winning
lot.
moment.
That's you couldn't hear anything in our mics. Like that's to give you an idea. It's just a huge tornado going through everyone
And
just screaming.
your fam, you was at home, right? And your fam was watching it, Big Kenny, and everybody was watching it on the big screen.
Yeah, they were 2 minutes behind, so I got to sit here and like kind of take a deep breath because I know we won, but they didn't
Mm-hmm.
hear me like screaming from up here. So I was just sitting here, and then when we won, because they were watching it in the living room, I had my little brother, little sister, my parents, and then my older brother Chris came over, and they were all watching downstairs, and all I heard was the entire downstairs like shake because I'm right above the living room. The entire downstairs was just shaking from them screaming. And that's when I came like walking out because I had 2 minutes to like kind of just chill. Because there is like a good amount of pressure in that, regardless if it's at home or at an event. Like that's still money. So, um, walking downstairs felt good. Seeing that it was a good feeling. That's definitely. I don't know where I'd rank that for my events though. I wouldn't put
Yeah,
that as my
I asked.
favorite event, but it's up there. Like it's got to be in like I've been to a lot of tournaments. Like
Uh-huh.
that's got to be in the top 5 at least, top 5, top 3, as far as like winning it.
Yeah, because
Especially
that's what I
reading
was
what we
telling
read
Rody. I
the
was telling
2 days
Rody, I was like,
before.
bro, the fashion in which y'all, Rody, as in praise, I was telling him the fashion in which you guys won that, and I was like, bro, where does that rank? I said, I know it's the same amount of money, but it was the last round at home. The storyline was there. Y'all had to make the comeback, and he said he puts it kind of high too as well, like kind of top 5, top
It's
3.
it's it's hard not to think like the comeback we made because regardless of how we want to look at it, both
Mhm.
teams were clutching up and both teams were quote unquote choking, right? Like you're not playing your perfect Gears of War in that moment. There's a lot of clutching and a lot of choking up, or clutching up and there's a lot of choking going on. So whoever I don't know was hitting the shots and won like that. I don't know, going down 2-0 where we were up 4-3 on the Icebound and we lose 5-4. And I think Rush made a good play on the home hill. He killed Billy, prolonged us breaking our home, and then ended up killing me on the backside. Like that's a big play. Like that was probably the map winning play for them on Icebound. Them like him clutching up and making that a 5-4 win for them is the difference in the series because we probably 3-1 them after that going to bunker. We knew if we won that Icebound, the series is done. We're a better bunker team than them. And then training grounds, we had close matches on all weekend, but we 5-0'd them on it even like after the bunker. So we probably just run through and just
last
win
map was
that series
Exhibitor,
pretty
right?
easily. Last map was Asylum.
Asylum. Okay, last
And
map
then
was
we
Asylum.
choked the first 3 rounds of Asylum. and
Bro,
put
I don't
ourselves
know
in a
how
hole.
the fuck y'all did that one. I was watching. I'm like, bro, this is like textbook form. I said all these guys have no respawns left available, but somehow Quarantine was just making plays, man. It was making the perfect plays.
Yeah,
those
they were
first 3 rounds.
using a lot of respawns and then just head down and hitting shots. I remember Rush clutched up the second round from Rush was playing pretty well. Like that's me and him have our differences, but he was playing really well in that
man
matchup.
has no
and
fear on the front spot.
I think he
has no fear.
1v2'd on second round. I think he 1v2's me and Gilbert on the B hill to guarantee him the second round. They were using a lot of respawns. So like believe me, when we're seeing them waste all these respawns and we're not closing the round out, that's difficult. But what I loved about my team in those moments, we just brush it off. All right, whatever, fuck it, like that. Yeah, we choked the round, like just keep going. What are we gonna do next round? And then we choked the next round, and it's still just to brush it off. Like this match is at least still ours, which is why we're able to pull it back. Not every team can do that. I've seen a lot of teams crumble in those moments. Those moments are hard to battle out of.
They are. You have to everybody has to believe that they can do it and they can win and they can make the play and they can get it done. Some guys be checked out. I think some teams would have checked out after they won those first 3 rounds in the first half. They would have checked out. Like, man, you know what? We fucked it up. We threw it away. Yep. We're done. They're gonna win this 5-1 at this point. But you guys,
those first 3 rounds will be why they close it out. But yeah.
Okay, cool. So, all right. We got Kenny in here. We got his thoughts on the online major and listening to your family's reaction on how you guys won and you clearing up everything with with the things that I guess Fran said on his stream. And so, all right. So now my next question is, and this is kind of be a 2-part on the topic towards Roster Mania and Summer Pro League quarter. With the rosters that have made, who do you think have made some great changes and some bad changes with their teams?
I guess I'll start it off since I don't know who you're directing that to exactly, but I guess it's all of us.
Yeah, it's all of you guys. Yeah.
So, I mean, initially coming into the next quarter, you have to look at the teams that didn't change. So pretty much it's going to be like Parallax. And Parallax was already online an amazing team. You saw them almost beat Kenny's team. I mean, last round, that was like a heart-wrenching match there. So Parallax, you have to give them a big advantage keeping that roster going into next quarter, at least to start out with. After that, of course, look at Fran's team, the Rise team, because, they're always coming up in the end. I don't know how they'll do in the beginning if they'll struggle to adapt to that new team. But towards the end of the quarter, I think they'll come around. And then the third part of that is I gave advantage also to the teams that kept 4 players instead of swapping out 2. So, look at Hive. Okay. They got Solars for Hefe. No disrespect to Jeff. Jeff's a great player. But I don't think Hive picking up Solars as their 5th is going to hurt them. I think it's only going to improve them. And then even maybe Vanquish picking up Twista as their 5th, but they still retain those 4 core members. So I think the teams that stuck it out, for the most part, are going to have the early advantage. Towards the end, we'll see if they, get caught, get run down, or if, Fran's squad can come up again. But that's my thoughts. The rest of the teams, it's kind of a jumble. We don't know where Rebels at, that team. We don't know. I mean, Sneak's team just made it in. They look good in the qualifier. They've been at a pro league for a quarter, though. So who knows what happens with the rest of the teams.
And it feels like I think that mostly everybody had an upgrade. I feel like everybody got an upgrade in a sense. Vanquish gets better. PDHM is the same roster. I think no matter what Rebel did, just getting speed on that team made them better. But they lost Zerp, right? Where did Zerp go?
We don't know.
Zerp is currently a free agent.
Really?
I was just talking to Zerp today. Really? It's actually weird.
It is. Maybe Zerp and Speedy on the stage. I got to
I've
think.
had Zerp and Speedy on the same team and Lane. They're not a problem. It was Speedy and Toy Story.
Okay, Speedy and
Yeah,
Toy.
but even that though, it's like all we know right now is that Sleepy, Jeff, and Rezik, they're three, and the other two are like still up for debate. You know what I mean? So where do they go? We don't know. It could be a number of directions. You got players like Kyle, Pell, Sam. You got Shock and Detox. These guys are all free agents. These guys
But
are
this
all
is
not in pro league. You know what I mean?
Deluxe. You also have to understand, like I said, with my team, we were willing to go through that challenger bracket, like that challenger series. Like you have to understand, like a lot of these teams do not want to do that. Like there's a lot of
course.
people who would rather just go straight to the pro league and just take the easier route. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants, like, even though like some of these people would rather play together, even if they may know they'll probably like place higher than, like their chances of placing higher than whoever they're playing with. But it's like, I'd rather just stay in the league and just be
Yeah.
relaxed. You know what
Well,
I
that's
mean?
why I
And
think the
it sucks.
options are open. That's why I think the options are open for Rebel. Like I said, the Rebel's got 2 spots, and they have all these guys are free agents. Like, kind of not fighting for the 2 spots, but like, hey guys, you want a pro league spot? You got to come to us pretty much because there's no spots available. So who would they
Didn't the
pick up for the
roster
last
lock
2?
happen already or no?
No,
Nah,
in
Thursday.
3 days.
Next,
Thursday,
this coming
this
Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, got you. So it's still
So
open for debate for changes
We'll find
to come
out.
through.
We'll find out
Okay.
for sure. Come a couple days, but it's either go to that roster or form your challenger team. Those are the options. There's no other option
Well,
unless you can get a team to drop the player they have
well,
currently and pick you up.
true. So for spots that's available, UIU locked up. The Rise Quarantine mashup is locked up. Third seed there is going to be Parallax Gaming. They got that one locked up. Fourth seed Vanquish in the building. They're probably officially fourth seed with Twister on their team. They're probably gonna be locked up. Hive in the building. If Solar's in the boys, if that is a true rumor, that's
They're scrimming right now.
Yeah, right. They're scrimming. So, yep, Hive is gonna be locked up at the 5th spot, and now you have
With Fatal Strike, but with Joe, by the way, with Fatal
yeah,
Strike
with
as
Joe,
well.
which is huge. And so now you get the last 3. You got PDHM, which made it in, is good. Sneaks team, which made it in, was good. And then Rebel, right? And we got the Rebel people in the chat. If y'all want to just say what's up and drop some intel, I'll bring you in a hot seat right now, Glenn. Okay? You can come join the Discord. I drag you in. You want to talk some Rebel stuff with us on y'all remaining 2 spots. I got you. But Rebel is the only position in which some players can kind of come through and make it into the league. Now, Speedy, like you said, Speedy was there. They scrimming with some more people. Zerp's not on that squad no more.
Right,
But
yeah, right now it's Speedy. Like as of this minute, I want to say it's Speedy and Hezzy right now. That's like as of this minute. But from now until Thursday, I mean, it could be anybody. Just swap in there. Who knows, right? But and also I want to say I mentioned earlier too. They're not officially Rebel, I guess. I don't think Glenn is or the guy have re-signed him officially, but
okay.
it's looking that way anyway. It's leaning towards that. But yeah, that's the only spots available. So like I said,
I want to be Rebel. Imagine.
Hey, Sneak said, yo, let me rock the logo one time. Sneak said, yo, we in the league. What's up?
I gotta talk to so I gotta say one thing real quick too before I let you take back over. Sorry to cut you off here.
Yes, you a guest too on the show, Deluxe. Take your mic time.
I appreciate it. Now I just want to it's kind of advice or question. I don't know how you put it, but so COVID-19 is here, and we've seen already quarantine went the whole last quarter. They did not have an org, so your team just made pro league. There's no guarantee you guys get an org. Like you can try, maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. We don't know. Are you guys down for something like? I always tell people, like I told quarantine, like brand yourself, like your pain or whatever your team name is. Get a little logo, maybe get some merch made. You have fans that will support you.
Listen,
you have people who follow you.
I hate to cut you off. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but you can't this is where I think we have a problem with players, even in esports. Like you can't separate the people who really want to do esports for the rest of their life as a career, as a job, as an occupation, with the people who are just here to play the game. You know what I mean? Like the people who are already set in their life and they don't care what's going on, but they're just here to play the game. It is what it is. And it makes them have fun. They're laughing. They're giggling. Like you got people who will want to do this forever. You know what I mean? Like people who want to stay there. Those are the people who will probably want to brand themselves. But it comes at a cost.
Not brand themselves. Like I'm not
successfully.
talking about like personally. I'm just saying like you 5 guys. You've been playing for a while. Like, you definitely have fans and people that follow you. If you did something like a Pain team branding, like we're selling T-shirts, you buy them, it supports us, like something like along those lines. I think it's much better instead of having if you can't get an org. If you get an org, great. There's no guarantee you'll get an org.
That's what Fable did. But like you also have to understand that like where we are, like where our scene actually is, like where we're actually, you know what I mean? Like right now, like that will
Right
that
now, what?
the players have to push that. You know what I mean?
But wouldn't you want to
And
play
that's
with
where I
people that
just,
want to push that? Like
I
your
mean,
personal opinion.
so why do you think teams make these roster changes? Like, everybody's trying to play with the people who they think want it most around them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like your pitch and your question to like us in quarantine, the teams who don't have an organization, that's a great question. However, people also have to look inside of themselves. Like, do they really want to do that? You know what I mean? Like,
And so, to tag onto that part, you are absolutely right. They have to ask themselves, do they really want to do this? Now, I think this is what players need to understand. Now, granted, if you're trying to do this full time, or or you already got your career in mind and you're just here for fun, this is still your side hustle. This is your side hustle. You are playing it for money. You are competing in tournaments. That's where your funds come in. You are a part of this team environment. Well, just take it a little bit to the next level. You don't have to want to do it full time. This don't have to be that portion of your take up most of your life. But in life, hell, get as many form of incomes as you can with the things that you love to do. Now, for me personally, I had to learn what that was for me. But I had to ask myself and go, Guy, what is it that I love to do on a daily basis? And how can I put content out there around that, modernize it, and ultimately sustain me? Now, I had to identify. I said, I love anime, I love cooking, I love fitness, I love gaming, and I love being cute, right? I love being fly. Fine ass motherfucker here, okay? I can go model somewhere if I want to. Now, how do I make some money off that, right? How do I do that full time and be able to turn my side hustle to the main hustle? Now, double back for this whole gaming industry. Now, as a squad, if you're gonna spend 4 or 5 hours a day scrimming, make it meaningful. Fuck talking in the chat and bullshitted on practice and scrims and doing other things. Come for the 4 hours, give it your full focus, record some video, record some video, focus up on the scrims, whatever you guys gotta do, and do little things for it each week. Next thing you know, you're making a few extra $100 on something you
Yeah, and
love.
Sneak, I'm not talking like I know you mentioned about this career their whole life thing. I'm talking more specifically for the next event. Like, say you don't get an org for next event to do some kind of funding or rallying for the team that your fans can support you in some way monetarily in exchange for maybe like merch or whatever it may be. Like, so I'm only talking one event down the line here because we see like I don't want to call it quarantine out, but like other teams do it too.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get an org, and then you're on Twitter saying like, can't believe we don't have an org. What are we gonna do? Like, it's not like it shouldn't be the end all be all of like you wanting to push yourselves
I mean,
forward. You know what I'm saying?
I hate to be that guy, but
And
people just
also
gotta
like
be realistic. You can't rely on the game to be your sole income. While yes, it can be for some, you
If
just
you make
at the
it,
end of the day, you
it's not
gotta
even
push
sole
that.
income now.
And if you make it, you're pushing that. Those people who push that, they're branding themselves like Domes. He's pushing that. He's a living proof of
Sniper
understanding.
Gang.
Hey, Domes is a living proof of understanding. Like, hey, maybe I wasn't the best competitive professional player, but I had my moments. I had my history, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna use that knowledge, that experience. You feel me? That past and run with it. You know what I mean? And have my fans live that through me. You know what I mean?
Who you
He's
speaking about?
doing the best out of it. I'm saying
Yeah,
Domes. Like,
Oh,
he has
I
Domes.
mean,
Yep.
his brand is looking good.
I
Mm-hmm.
see.
Domes
I'm
I
is
just
see
saying
real
as far as
good.
like the history of Gears esports. I mean, like I think where we're at now, and like hopefully it's still growing this thing. Like look back to Gears One, Blaze knows this too. Even like I think we're past the point where we should be at least of like players like just wanting to show up and play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's like you got to do something extra. It doesn't have to be your full time income. It doesn't have to be like your full time do it all day every day. But like you have to do something extra on the side, other than just playing the game. Because no org is gonna want to pick you up just playing the game. You're not doing any social media,
Yep.
no promotion. Like it's
I
like
see
how,
both
And
how
this,
sides.
can you
yeah.
I see
brand
both sides.
yourself?
I get where Sneak's coming from because there's players like, if you look at me, for example, I've gotten told many times like, yeah, stream. At the beginning of this game, I was streaming, and I said to myself like, realistically, like this isn't my future. I know,
Yeah.
like I just was saying, I started the stream off like I'm going into game development. I'm going somewhere else. So for somebody who is already in the position of, they have that something else, right? Like them getting an org, them being paid to play Gears outside of tournament earnings and just playing the game isn't needed for them.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter to them. So they're down to, if Sneak and them just decide to go and play as Pain and they're playing to play, and obviously like they're not like playing to lose, they're scrimming trying to win. But they don't need the extra org representation, then that's what it is. But I also see the other side of, there are people who, want to get paid for this, want to have an org, and if you can't get that org, why not build up something for yourself and use that to attract, sponsors, which is pretty much what like pays an org anywhere, are those sponsors. So if you can get a sponsor for your team through an
It's what
org you pretty
Tox
much
did.
create, then yeah, so I see both sides. I
Yeah.
think both of you guys are making like a lot of sense, and
And I agree with
fair
Kenny
points.
say. I think both you guys are making a lot of sense, and I know what Sneak is saying too, where he's just like, sometimes it's like, all right, if they want to do that, what's the infrastructure looking like, or can it be successful? Now, this is what I want people to understand too. That extra content and gears that you make, you do it because you love to do it, not because you are looking to make a dime. If you make a dime, that's awesome. But you should ultimately want to do it because you want to share archive your gears experience that you're having, and you want to share that and make content and entertain other people, rather if you're teaching them, just making them laugh, whatever it may be. You're doing it because you love to do it. And if you start making money, it's even better because it's authentic. And as we know in 2020, everyone loves authenticity, okay? Be yourself. Hell, I struggle sometimes with being myself most of the time, just because sometimes the environments in which I'm in. But at the end of the day, Blaze is always better when I'm just Blaze. Fuck what anybody else got to think. Just be yourself, put out the content in what you love, and whoever fuck with you gonna fuck with you. And you're not worried about the numbers, so you don't get that stressed in the point where you have a great week and you feel like you made all this good content, but then nobody come to watch it, right? But this is what y'all got to get. It's okay. And the reason why is because the beauty about YouTube is those videos ain't fucking going nowhere. Okay? All those awesome videos that you made and you put up and you put the thumbnails on, yeah, you might not got the 1,000 subs or making it right now, but when the following come, they watching all your shit back and you gonna get the money for it. Okay? And that shit gonna double and double and it's gonna snowball. So you just got to do it because you love it in your free time and giving 100% effort when you hop on the game to play gears and practice, that within those 4 or 5 hours that you recording, if you wanted to make the content, or you giving it all in your scrims and doing what you got to do, because it's real simple shit. Me being somebody who do the videos, once you get the intro and the outro bump, you just clip it, throw it in the front, throw it in the back, and post it up.
Yeah, and like that's kind of to piggyback on what somebody asked me, saying like, do I play Gears for the money or do I play Gears because I like Gears? Like, I love Gears.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say all the time, like no matter what anyone says, we can all say the game's terrible, but we're still gonna want a wall bounce. Like we're still gonna want a wall bounce reaction shot, like try to up A somebody. You know what I mean? Like you can not play Gears of War. You could get a PlayStation and play that for 2 months, and you're gonna be like, man, I don't want to play none on Xbox but Gears of War. Like, I just want to get on Gears of War and just get on Gears 2 or Gears 3. You know what I mean? Like something just one time and then get back on whatever you're doing. Like yes, we have money now, but when I was playing Gears 3 and uploading those videos that you were just talking about, I'm uploading videos daily, every single day, just because I loved it. Like I wanted to put my name out there. Like I wanted to put myself out there in a sense. Like, man, like I don't know what's next. I don't know what's like. I didn't even know there was LAN competitions on Gears 3. All I knew was I was playing game battles and I was trying to
Bring it
upload
back, baby.
players
Bring it
like
back.
my teammates. Like I was trying to upload Kenny, I was trying to upload Lava, I was trying to upload
Yep,
Crash.
yep.
Like
I'm trying to
literally
upload them
I
to
sent
the
the video,
tube, baby.
I sent the video to Crash like just recently. Like, look, isn't this crazy? Like I uploaded you and you said I suck. I mean, hey, who would have thought? You know what I mean?
Who
Like,
would have thought we here today? Now check this out. Somebody in the chat said, we're about to start getting to these questions soon, so we don't got like another 2-hour, podcast. Even though we'll chop it up as long as we chopping it up. Now, so whatever questions you guys get, type of me and Noxious will pull them. You guys can put them in the Discord. And but I see we got a few right now that we'll get to. Now, the one guy said, TC is killing its own scene esports wise, and the game is bad, and that's why it's no viewers. Now this is my thing. We just came off of 20K grand finals, even though it is COVID season. We hit some of our most viewers than we did the 3 lands in which we did have, right? And that's something that makes me super happy, because I'm always conscious of how all of esports views Gears and how Twitter views Gears of War esports as a whole, and how they see our game, because it does make a big difference when it comes down to all the other people who we compete with on views on a weekly basis. Now, I feel like this is a good time for us. As we're about to hop into the Pro League, we got some awesome new rosters. We're about to head into the summer quarter as well. But this is the thing. In Hype Station, we did so much more during the hype days when we didn't have support, right? We didn't have support and we were still having fun. And we were still, pushing out that content. And the players is what made it successful. Not so much the game, but it was the competition, the storylines, the back and forth, the players taking their own communities, going against each other, and creating a space for the viewers to come watch and get that entertainment. And it's not based off of how good the game is, but it's the people who are playing the game and how much fun they're having. Like me and Praise, when we did the 1v1 the other day, regardless of how we feel about the game, it's me, Rody, we got some drinks. We about to have a fucking good time. And we did. And whatever that moment was, we filmed it, we put it out. And it happened organically, and that was some great content, regardless of what the game is and how it's played. We can make it awesome. We can make it fun. We make it entertaining. It's on you. So for the people out there who say that, oh man, if I put the content out there, ain't nobody gonna come. Well, motherfucker, give it time. It's on you. Have fun, bro. Okay? It's what we make it, man. Sneak King Kenny, hell, if both of y'all was, check this out, even if y'all fake the funk sometime and just be showmen, right? It's a lot of WWE and Gears combinations that happen here, but I want our players to intentionally be showmen, even if y'all can, and just stir that pot, because we got a lot of people to feed, okay? Let's just stir the pot. We got a lot of people to feed, put out the content, and make it entertaining. And, the stage is there, the Pro League is there, the Majors is there, Astro Battles is there, the platforms are there. Just in the meantime, in the off season and during the week, stir the fucking pot, man. Put it out, make it fun. Get creative. Don't worry about what the game might be, where it might get to, what might happen next season. Because if we keep worrying about all that shit that we have no control over, it stays exactly how it is. Everybody's just depressed, waiting for a fucking shooting star to make a wish on. And the community that I come from, and I'm still a part of that community, but let me give y'all a history lesson. We did not make fucking excuses for why our game was what it was. We came up with our own league. We rented out hotel ballrooms. We trained up our own casters. Community members did it because we wanted to. We bitched so much and complained, and not even bitch. Our community was kind of at our best in Gears 1, 2, and 3, giving out input, working with Epic, trying to get our game into the right direction. And at a certain point, the community just cracked and was like, you know what? We tired of it. And you know what? The community's still been kind of hurt from those times. Even though we came a long way, there's still some wounds and some scars there, but we did not make excuses. And we was like, okay, if this thing gonna get fixed, if that is what it is, we'll swap weapons. We'll come up with our own map custom rules. And the comp community is gonna say, okay, this is the best competitive setting that we can work with. Let's go run some tournaments. Let's go have some fun, play some 1v1s, do some pickups and shit, throw our own money on the line, and create the fucking environment. And hey, that's what we did, okay? And I'm telling you guys that y'all can do it too, and that's the best way to go about it, all right? It's a COD game comes out every year, and the competitive community don't like that shit most of the time. They be like, what the fuck is this shit? But they go make the most of it because they got fans to work with, and they make it their own. And that's all I want to say on that.
I don't have anything to add on, so.
Was that a clap?
That's a slow clap, and nobody else got on board.
Yeah,
That's a slow clap.
I appreciate you. Thank you for the slow clap. Hell,
Oh,
I was
man,
I took a look at chat, man, right after. But man, that was it, man. And that's all I want to say to you guys out there. So, and when y'all go in streams and y'all see people in chat and they talk about what they think Gears and why they think Gears is bad and what they think they know about what TC is doing. Some people who just be talking that shit and guess what? Some people only get their intel from the chat, right? They only get the intel from the chat or maybe on the TL or something like that. And for you guys who really are a part of this Gears community, who 10 toes deep in this shit, okay? Who about this Gears life, and I've been here for 13 years, and if you about that Gears life, I know who you are. You can't fake the funk, okay? Now, if you about that Gears life, be good ambassadors, okay? Because people listen to what you say. You have power. Rather, if you use that power for negative fucking tweets and you want to entertain that community, hey, it's views in that. And
Listen, I gotta talk to the pros,
and
man.
somebody needs to lead that. If that's your niche, that's your niche, right?
We gotta
be
like
great ambassadors, okay?
Blaze. We know right now. I mean, the game wasn't always in a great spot, but it just seems to be getting better. And we know we have people in place now that feedback I think is really taken into account from players, from casual to pros, but like definitely the pros when it comes to esports.
Mm-hmm.
And I still see these tweets. You know what I mean? Like send in the feedback,
They
send
need
an
to put
email.
it on forums.
There is a forum. I heard a rumor there is a forum to put that. It's like you got to give that feedback personally. You help nobody when you put in the timeline like shotgun's ass, like fix it. Like that literally helps 0% of people. I know it's frustrating. Believe me, I play a lot of gears. Unfortunately, I'm not the best. I die a lot of times with some silly stuff, but you got to just try and give that constructive criticism because, like Blaze said, like you're the ambassadors for the game. People watch you the most. People see the most for all the pros out there. So I think if we want to keep improving the game, we have to now take it more seriously now and get that feedback over and try to keep improving on the game over the course of the next few months or next season. Hopefully, we'll have that coming too.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so too, man. I do.
I'm guilty too. Back in the day, I used to put some tweets out there. Back in the day, I stopped a long time ago because I realized it wasn't going to happen that way.
So this is my thing about the tweets, and and I am very cautious about what I tweet, and I'm going to let you guys know out there why I'm very cautious about what I tweet and how I interact with the community, because I've had the pleasure of working with Apex, Call of Duty. I've even know some Pokemon people, and a few other different esports, right? And I got a lot of important people who follow me in the industry, and so I choose my battles on the interactions in which I take on social media, because you don't have to be following somebody to see what they're saying. And typically when some people look at my stuff, it's just like, okay, what's happening in the Gears community, right? What's happening here again? What the Gears players doing? They fighting, they ratchet. What's happening in Gears again? Oh, there we go. That's some classic Gear shit. Players getting banned. They're putting money on the line. Oh, look, it's another shit. I hate that fucking narrative. Been trying to change this shit for 7 years. Every event I go to, and Kenny can attest to this, I really care about how people view us, okay? Because it affects me, it affects all of us who are involved. So I wish a lot more people were on the words in which they just choose your words wisely, and how constructive you are about what we do. Praise is like, we ratchet as shit, right? But that's the thing is, it's a specific way to embrace that, to be entertaining and say, hey, we real, right? We real, we got that fire.
Look at how the FGC came up,
Yeah, exactly,
FGC had
right?
similar background.
And the thing is, with the Gears community, what our niche is, right? This is one of the only places you can come to watch gamers play each other, talk trash, and show love after. Okay? And talk some trash and be authentic. Because in all these other leagues, they're censoring them. They say, you can't do this, you can't do that. We're going to put some chains on you here and there. Like, you got to be buttoned up. But we actually get a little bit more leeway. Okay? But I just want to tell people, don't take too much leeway, and be careful how you package that and put it out there to the world. Now, we can't be the little rougher around the edges when it comes down to the rest of the esports, and we should be, right? I want everybody to be authentic. I still think that the Gears of War community has the best personalities in esports, and I truly mean that. Look at the people on your team. Look at your favorite teams, and then look at some of these other esports. A lot of these motherfuckers don't say shit on camera. They don't have that personality. Okay, we got cool people like Sneak, Kenny, Praised, and everybody else who has those personalities. Ices, Rushies, Avexies, Drix, all these guys in our community. And I just want you guys to be authentically yourselves at all time, and be respectful, and be great ambassadors. Just watch how you word the things that you say on Twitter. Be aware of who reads your tweets, okay, and who might see your tweets just because of who you're friends with. It all plays into a factor, the amount of money in which you get in your pocket, okay? Ultimately, now it's somebody out there who's thinking, I can hear their voice, and they're like, yo, Blaze, that shit don't matter. Oh, Blaze, yeah, we did that before. We gonna do it. It ain't gonna happen. They gotta do this to the game. Well, to that guy, I say, then you can chill and wait. You can let things stay exactly how they are. Okay? And if you don't think things are good now, well, how the fuck you think they gonna get better? And it's on you. Okay? If you ain't gonna be part of the solution, then shut the hell up and don't give your opinion. If you ain't gonna be a part of the solution, if you ain't gonna post on the forums and give your opinion, if you ain't gonna be constructive about it, if you're not gonna entertain the few fans in which you got and be respectful, and just talk to your chat a little bit, okay? If you ain't gonna do none of that, then shut the fuck up. And let the people who are trying to do it, support them, like a tweet, do whatever you gotta do. But it's people who are trying to take this to the next level. And if you guys wanted to get to the next level, support them. Simple. Support them and watch what you say. Okay? Because we can sit here and not do nothing. And imagine it. Imagine this, right? A year from now, check this out. Kenny can attest to this. We have watched Gears die off maybe 2 times, right? We didn't watch 2 meteors hit this community and we survived each one of them. And every single time it hits, like I was here when MLG dropped Gears after Gears 2. I was like, oh my God, Gears is done. That portion of my life, it's over. Okay, I get to go on and be a chef. And I became an executive chef at the age of 24. I don't know why I want to flex like that, but I just like saying things like that here and there. Whatever, it's my show. And so, and then, so Gears ended there. Then I went to Hypha Station, right? Played in Hypha Station. And there was a portion in which Hypha Station ended for me too. And I'm like, okay, these years is over. Let me move on with my life a little bit here and there. And then playing Gears, under. And then now, next thing you know, then we get the next era. And then Jack Felon comes in and revives it again. So at the end of, so you guys can wait till it ends if you want to. Or instead of waiting for that moment to come, because it sucks, okay? And even though we're like cockroaches sometimes and we don't go away, we always keep coming back. Why wait, man? Why waste the fucking time, bro? Right now is the perfect time to do what you love to do. Right now is the time to change it, bro, okay? Hell, you either gonna bitch about it and think about it when you sleep and when you're in the car and you at work all day. Man, imagine if Gears Esports was as big as League of Legends. Imagine if Gears Esports had what COD had. Imagine. Fucking do something. Shit, I'm tired of this fucking imagining. Fucking get out your head and get out the future and get to the present. Okay, start asking yourself what makes you happy in Gears. What kind of content you want to watch and start working with people to do it. If not, shut the fuck up and play. Hell, okay? And support your teammates at least. Because I know somebody on your team want to do it and gas him up if you can't do it. I'm done talking for now.
I blacked out. What happened?
I'm done talking for now. Okay? Support Ashes. What the fuck, Kenny? Why haven't I seen you on 4-pointing, huh?
Hmm?
Shit.
That's a him and Colin exclusive.
Okay. Is it just them two? Okay, I didn't know that part. Okay, well, you support the show. Shit. All right? Damn. And if I'm crazy, Chad, I'm crazy towards it. But at the end of the day, I tell you one thing: my persistence has kept me here for 13 years. And I didn't have the best placings. I wasn't winning events, but I did love Gears, and I hate making excuses. I truly do. Okay. Granted, the only way I make excuses is how I die in game. I got excuses for my teammates. I got excuses for the game. I got excuses for my connection. I got excuses for how I'm feeling when I can't get kills and I ain't playing right. Outside of those excuses, I hate making excuses. Hell, you just gotta go put work in and you gotta get it done. Okay, and after that rant, let's look at these questions real quick, okay? Look at these questions. Kat put a question in the chat earlier, and we'll keep these nice and sweet on it. Let's see, I scrolled too far. He said, do you think that egos can get in the way of constructive criticism, and how often is that a problem with teams discussing strategies and whatnot? Kenny or Sneak, can one of y'all answer that one for me?
Yeah, egos can get in the way of like working with your team. That's what it sounds like the question Really
Yeah,
is to me.
yeah.
The
The
egos
Eagles
block
get him.
teamwork and communicating with teammates.
And
100%.
constructive criticism, like let's say me and you are teammates, and I was like, Kenny, your 1v1s are trash. Maybe you should do this and that, yada yada. And you like, bro, you can't tell me what I'm doing in my spot. You don't know me, and I think that does play a factor into it. I've been on teams like that where you can't tell nobody something. They think they know it all, right? And they think they're the smartest player in fucking Gears, but it be like that sometimes. Sometimes they either you get rid of those guys, or they got the majority of the team vote and they get rid of you.
You like that?
Literally.
Let's
I
see.
mean, that's the way. It's not just Gears. That's the way. I mean, a lot of things in life.
I was gonna say
Unfortunately,
communication in general.
any team-based thing too is like, and I've dealt with it a lot when I was trying to do my thing with the amateur teams back in the day, where, one guy says we got to go this way, the other guy says we got to go that way, and when they have a conversation about it, it's like a back and forth trying to argue for their point, instead of like nobody gives in. You know what I mean? So like they're never gonna come to an agreement on that. They both think they made the right play, or whatever it might be, and it just like ruins the chemistry of the team pretty much. So.
Well, that comes down to conversational skills, and a lot of people's real life conversational skills come into the game, right? The way they talk to people on a day to day is how they gonna talk to y'all in scrims, and how they interact with people on a day to day is it all translate in, right? And so some people gotta just change the basics, man. Got an audio book for y'all. I got some good ones I could probably suggest to people, but you need to not take everything personal, which people are saying, but also a lot of players need to understand the tone in which they speak, the tone in which they give criticism, how they enter that conversation. That entry part is super important, because if you come out the gate hot, bro, like of course somebody gonna match your energy, and you got to be aware of that and how you start that one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Sneak answered this portion. This was Fran's question. He was like, I got a question for Sneak. Do you love Gears, and do you play for the check? Did competing take the fun out of the game for you since you've made money off of it? And you can probably re-answer that one. And Kenny, you can answer that one as well. Do you play Gears just for the love, or is it for the money? And playing it at a high level, does it take some fun away from it?
I feel like competing in Gears is what gets me on it every single day. Like if I'm sitting here playing ranked, I get bored. Like I eventually get bored. Like I like playing games in general with a purpose. Competitive gaming has ruined like casual gaming for me. So playing Gears competitively at a high level is like what honestly keeps me hooked to the game, and like keep me coming back.
He has a point, because like just piggyback on what he said, like I said, like with me not being in the pro league, like, and like when I did get dropped, like I'm not a person who could just sit there on the sidelines. Like I like playing. Like I have to be like I want to play in the tournament. You know what I mean? Like I want to play, and like I want to be in the competition, because like what else am I about to do? You know what I mean? Like everything else is boring. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing that really gets you like real life locked in. You know what I mean? Like when it's money on the line, like you're like, hold on, like you know what I mean? Like hold on, you know what I mean? Like say if you're watching something,
bro. You play different when
literally.
something's on the line. Like yeah. Go.
I just don't see how people could just sit on the sideline when they had a chance, like when they've been in it. Like I don't see it. Like so I really want to see it. Like I hope this team doesn't break up, but like that was just to show like who really wants it for real. You know what I mean? Like I give it to Jamie, because Jamie's still out here trying to like put himself out there as best as he can, because he's trying. But
I wish he'd get on the team.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, it's hard, but like at the same time, you can't say he's not trying. So that's one thing that I'll attest to, and it is what it is.
And he loves it, and it shows, and he tries, but it's what keeps him on the game, right? Like Gears is so different compared to all these other first-person shooters out there. Gears is one of a kind, and as these players know, winning 1v1 fights and winning team fights in Gears and this third-person shooter, this third-person cover shooter, is it's a feel, man. It's a good feel when you actually come out and you can earn that win. And I'm pretty sure it's like that in other esports, but Gears hits differently for me, and it always have. And I can play all these other games at a decent level. But Gears, man, it's just something about it for me personally, and the reason why I haven't got off of it. And also the community is awesome as well. Okay. This next question here, I'm kind of going to combine two people's questions because it's about game modes. And so one person said pretty much is that in a competitive environment, do you feel like TC can do anything to improve escalation or 2v2 Nashers? So
I guess I'll take both of those. I guess.
He got that.
Kenny Sneak said you
One
got
second. Imagine. No, 2v2 boxes is like kind of easy. And all 4 of the maps kind of suck. I'll just like throw it out there. Like,
It needs to be a 1v1
they were
playlist.
better on Gears 4 for whatever reason, and on this game like the 2v2s just don't play out as well as on other games. Like I think mid and boxes, I don't know. I feel like they were better for other titles, but not this one. I think the coalition needs to work at having different maps that like fits the way this game plays to make those better. And then as far as escalation, I think they need to redo the weapon tree and where they put things. Um, because right now the meta for almost every map is like pretty identical, and people aren't really straying away from what other people are doing. So on Asylum, everyone's trying to build incense shocks. You know, like you get that same meta is on every single map.
And it's
Bunker,
a
people are
risk if
trying
you
to build
don't. It's a
incense
risk if you
flash.
don't. You know,
Yep,
and that's
you
why
just
the meta is what it is.
and we're finding that the incense and shocks are in a team environment like are more beneficial to build up than even going to like the 3rd level power weapon.
Yep.
So I think they need to redo that weapon tree and the way they have all that set up. And
What about the home hill
another,
caps? So do you think home hill should be instantly capped off the start?
I don't think they should be instantly capped, but I think they need to reduce the amount of people. Like, so if you want to triple cap your home hill, like it shouldn't cap faster with 3 people. And I also think that it's weird that if you triple cap a home hill right now, it'll like cap faster, but if you triple decap a hill, it won't decap faster. I always thought that was weird. Why are they both different? They should both, be the same.
I fuck with that. I fuck. Yeah, I can get behind.
So that's another thing. Oh, and then the loadout. Let's like on district, we could talk about all the flashes that get put down. You give your front spawn and your front spawn on your going dropping down from juice. Your front spawn going to the east side of the map, and then you start putting flashes down and halving your flashes everywhere. Like that needs to change. Like different things like that can improve escalation easily. Like making it where the side flash placements are only 1 flash, not 2. I think they should remove the loadout spots in general. Things like that can improve escalation. There's definitely a lot of ways they can improve escalation.
Okay. No, I agree.
And those are
with
just some
that.
examples.
I agree that we had a conversation on last Hotseat with Meta and Jacko spoke about it a lot too as well, about the weapon tree and how that definitely needs to get better. And then he mentioned about the heals too going instantly capped. I think Ballin mentioned something too as well about it on Twitter. He always got some good opinions out there. Sneak, you agree with anything? Anything you want to add to that one?
Trust me, if Kenny said it is right, I'll be. Trust me, I'll be vouching, backing it. It is what it is. He's right. Fix it. The tree. No, but he's right though. Like, trust me, a lot of us would rather have an instant than have torque bow right now, and it's weird, but.
Yeah, man, I miss seeing I miss seeing just a lot of great power weapon plays each and every round, and those kind of being the focal point on the center line. Now, Gridiron, we can kind of get that back, and Gridiron needs its own tweaks. And I guess
I think we should have that in escalation though too, because I remember giving this feedback to Node a while back. But I told them when they were moving the boom and drop shot off the side to remove all of the power weapons off the side and put them all center line. Because you're never going to even build up to that torque bow on the side anyway. Torque bow, sniper, whatever. As soon as someone sees, oh, they put a retro down, let's put a snipe down center line. And you just screw up what the other person's trying to do unless you want that same, that same sniper, that same torque, that same whatever. Like, you can't do anything to stop someone from, you can't do anything to stop someone from blocking you from having it. So
you
taking them off of there and making it beneficial to put them on the center line will allow teams to now build up strategies to put those weapons on the center line. And then I think since the utility grenades, like your incense shocks, and then even like frag grenades, if people want to build up to those, are so useful that those should be like the level 3s on the side, and that's what would be best for escalation, because then you'll not only see, like, we don't really see retros and hammer bursts and all that stuff being used.
Hammer burst
I personally don't like
Sneak with a
them,
retro
but
yesterday, though. I did see Sneak with a retro in his hand on District.
And it went right to a sniper, and I was so happy to get a sniper. I was so happy because I never see the sniper.
The 2 headshots at the end, yeah.
I never see the sniper ever in District.
Sniper game.
So if you now put those, like the retro hammer burst, those kind of things on the tier 2 where an incense and shocks are, and then you move those big power weapons to the center line, you'll start seeing people like, in Gears 4 you saw like Gilbert, Kyle, like a bunch of people with Marksas all the time. Like people love the Marksa. Yeah, the hammer burst is really strong on this game. You see people using hammer burst on this game, but you see people using like maybe enforcers and overkills that you never know like what they will put on that tier 2, and like those will actually come into play. Power weapons will come back into play, and it won't just be the incend flash shock meta that we see right now. And that's like they need to really adjust that tree to have all those weapons come back into play. Right now it's just too much of the same.
Hey, and you know the beauty about that is that I've been enjoying watching Escalation recently because the pro players have been putting on a show for all the fans, and you guys have been giving us great matches. And I always give teams a lot of slack about the strategies they run in preparation. But I think this last tournament was one of the most competitive tournaments I've watched in a long time, and you could really tell that a lot of teams put in work. And just to know that especially I think the suggestions that you guys gave was great, but just understanding that Escalation can get better. It can still get better. All this can get better. That it's some good times ahead, and I hope that we do see some more of those changes. Now, Gridiron. Well, somebody before we even say anything about Gridiron, somebody was talking about with the weapon tree. Do you think that you guys? How would it be if you guys got like 2 placements in the beginning of each half, like 2 weapon picks for each team? Would that change anything, or is this still like the same?
So are you saying like
round 1
there's
and
4
round
rounds?
5, round 1 and round 5, instead of getting 1 pick, y'all get 2 picks or something? Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So are you saying that round 1 we get 2 picks, round 2 we get 1 pick, round 3 we get 1 pick? No, I don't. I think that would just put people in like uncomfortable. So I don't even know if people would just start halving everything. Like if things already get halved, like I don't think that would do much for the meta. It would still be the same things would be more useful. You might see more things put down on the center line just because there's like too many picks at this point. But I would much rather see them. I think they should get rid of the loadouts slots. I think they should. There's no reason to allow people to half weapons, like on the sides, and I think they should just start adjusting the way the tree is now. Like I was saying before, to make it where you're kind of forced to put things on the center line. Like because you're not going to be able to build up to like the sniper and other things on the side spawns. I think that would play out better than just having so many spawns like so many picks that there's just everything down on the map. Like
yeah. Nah, I feel you on that one. So my next question is being pro in a cast. Well, I get that one later, but Gridiron. Gridiron gets placed into the competitive cycle. Let's say tomorrow, you guys got to start scrimming. What's the biggest issue? Is it or is it gonna work right off the bat? Is it great?
Telling people to not die.
Telling people not to die.
Like
it needs tweaks too.
It needs tweaks, yes, but teams haven't played execution, so
yeah. Well, we saw like in the beginning when Gridiron first came out, there was like this huge push for Gridiron. I am part of that as well because I love one life game modes. Till I die, I'll be a one life game mode guy. But it was a big Gridiron push. There's a lot of money put into it with the UMG tournament, a lot of viewers. It was hype and it's still really good. But I think until they make those tweaks, that's why we haven't seen it recently be in the discussion because until they make those tweaks, we can't really tell if it's going to be going into competitive or not. Nothing major, just small tweaks with like. Maybe the flag has a pickup timer on it, or you gotta push a button to pick it up instead of the instant grab, and just a couple of things that we talked about on your last stream too. So I hope Gridiron gets there, but yeah, right now in its current state, I don't think it's even gonna get added.
My biggest problem with it is everybody spawning with smokes. Like that gave me, and I said this like after we lost the PK on it in the tournament, and I was saying it while we were playing. Like I'm getting real Gears 4 vibes where I'm just running through smokes and hoping someone's not on the other side of it with a shotgun, and that's just not what competitive Gears is. Like, you're not supposed to just be running through smokes and hoping that like you're not getting like, fucked on the other side of it. That's just probably what it is, and that's
a little
that's
bit
all
random.
I felt like.
My thing is the instant pickup on a flag. I kind of feel like you need to like press X to pick up a flag like a weapon or something like that, rather than an instant pickup because you get maps like Canals where you just smoke it out. And then it's whoever that front spawn is quicker, touches it, back rolls, and now that's 1 point, and you just camping, right?
I think it's clear in that 2 Blades. I think a theory in that too, Blaze, was that if there's a pickup button, like say you pick up like a weapon,
Mm-hmm.
you can just put one guy on the flag at that point, and that guy literally can't pick it
You
up because
still got
he'll get down
then you got
down
power
right away.
weapons. You still got power weapons to play for.
You do, but like let's use Asylum as an example. You know what, that flag spawns first run of Asylum right in that
Mm-hmm.
middle area there. So I'm sitting across, I'm on that wall right there, and again, you can't pick the flag up. You just can't pick it up because you pick it up, you're getting down instantly. And with Warzone rules, it's not execution
Yeah.
rules. Warzone rules. I'm gonna
Escalation.
finish you off. Oh,
Yeah.
escalation.
Now-
Escalation rules.
Now let me tell you. So the reason why I think about it, because this is how I think about Gears, right? Like I ask myself, what is the end goal that I want for a single life game mode, right? Like I'm imagining in my head how I want it to be played, by rotation, by nade by nade, and when I look at Gridiron, what I would love to see is that I would love to see creative strategies off the initial, right? Back in execution days, we had about 7 strategies we could run off the start, and they all worked, right? So I want to see that come back into play. I still want the power weapons to be primarily the focus. Get the power weapons. Get that lethality for your team. Be able to use your utility nades, your smokes, your stuns, flashes, incense creatively to acquire the power weapons, to acquire the kills, to win the rounds. And I don't want that to happen so fast. I want that to be paced out. Which is another reason why I feel like Gridiron needs a little bit more time added to those rounds so that players, when they play it, don't feel like they're in such a rush, right? As like they're playing a respawn game type because it's going so fast. I ultimately want, and just all players who's playing Gears, not even comp players, to play the game mode and say, okay, I got a breath. I can go out here and use some strategies, and I can think about how I want to tactically win this round. And currently the pace is just a little bit too fast. This is you guys heard me go on a rant on the last hot seat about it. I think King of the Hill is really fucking up our community because the respawns being jacked up. Casual Gears players who are playing it cannot think tactically because somebody's always shooting them in their back with a shotgun. So they never organically say, yeah, I should pull out my Lancer in this situation. I should pull out my pistol in this situation. Because how our lobbies casually are being played is with people wall bouncing around with their shotguns out, throwing smokes and throwing 1,000 flashes. So, how do you stop players, the average player, from playing like that? And you need to find creative ways to just slow it down a little bit, because I just want people to think tactically on how they approach the round. And that's it, So, don't have an instant pickup on the flag. Add a little bit more time in it. And I want players to really get smart, creative. Hell, I want to see people banking torque bows off wall to get a kill. If they need to, shit. Hell, if we need to put a mini map on the map where it just shows your teammates and people who shoot from your opponent just to get people to think smarter, then do it. But
I think also Gridiron, I mean, we're a little bit far out to talk about this now, but since it's still a topic, I'll bring it up. I would love it if Gears in general, but I think for Gridiron to really benefit if we're still at 4v4, because it's just
that fifth player adds to the chaos as well, man. I'm still mad about that one, bro. I'm still mad about how all these people in the esports industry who ain't never competed made a decision that we should make these teams 5v5 and ran with it. Like, that still confuses me to this day, where I'm like, bro, who the hell did you consult in this? You just did it because you thought League and Counter-Strike was doing it, so it was best for y'all to do it?
It just makes it so much better. Like, you'll get more of those 1v1 fights we like to see, right? Like, part of the chaos now of Gears in general is that you have these, like, 3v3, fights for initials, and it's like, it's war. It's a straight-up war. You can't, like, dissect it too much before, oh, I got 1 kill. Nice. I got 2 more Nashers in my back now, you know what I mean? Like, there's no time to breathe there. And, like, I think a big part of Gears in the past has been those big 1v1s that have been won, and even 2v1s, But, like, fighting, I mean, if it's a 1v3, which happens sometimes, like, forget about it. Put your controller down. You're not going to win that, But
and check this out. At the highest level, right? At the highest level in which Gears is played, you watch a Quarantine and UYU match, you go into Asylum, it's a fucking stalemate to start. Because they understand the risk and reward of the small little mistakes in which you can make, and they're not flying to cap the hill. They're not doing the things that you guys are doing in ranked games. They're not doing that because they understand that shit don't work. Now, I want everybody to understand how they come out and play that way. Also, I do want to say thank you to them because casting games like that are a lot easier. And I love the high level games, but also most importantly, the fans get to follow the information. They get to follow the fans, get to feel so much smarter, seeing how everything trickles down, how they get to watch this one player think about the push he's gonna make, execute it, and it succeeds, right? Rather than he's thinking about the push, and 1,000 other things happen across the map.
Just imagine Asylum with a 1-1-2 initial. Watching that, it already sounds better to me.
I would enjoy like the 1v1 fight in mid, the up top, because what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get some rounds where they do a double push on entry stairs. You do a 2v1 up there. The middle guy's left by himself. He's going to try to flank down low while the two players down low is playing defensive, and they got to fight a 2v3. But it's a lot easier. And it's better to watch than watch somebody fight 2v3 versus.
You mentioned
2v4.
You mentioned the what's it called? You mentioned that you want to see different strategies, and like that opens up even more. I think when a 4-on-4 game.
That's pretty much that's what I was gonna say about escalation. Like when I think about Asylum, when we're just 5 there staring at each other, it's kind of hard to push across the tracks. Like even if you're trying to push the two people, or like I mean they were doing the strat where they were double capping their home hill at a point, right?
Yeah.
You could send another person to cap the home hill, still have 2 people towards the tracks. 2 people towards the tracks, and was it one more person and one person watching mid?
Yeah.
And if you go to push across tracks on them, there's now 2 people there that could be lancering, and there's a third guy from middle they're probably crossing also.
Yeah.
Now if you turn this into a 4v4, you're either missing a person on tracks or you're missing the person mid, and it's a much easier like on both sides. If you're not double capping your home hill, so you're the opposite side, like it's much easier to push across tracks. There's more plays that you can make
and you can
when
hold
there's
people
one less
accountable.
person.
You can hold your team accountable for go.
And I will like say this, adding on, going from like UE to 4, like none of us asked for it to go to 5v5, and that's like I love all my teammates right now, and this is not anything against my current team. I'm just saying that like looking at Gears Esports was always at its best when it was 4 versus 4.
Amen. Can I get an amen in the chat if y'all agree with that?
And like you said before, we didn't make the choice to go to 5v5, and I think Gridiron to play better 4v4. It's possible, like escalation. I've never played escalation 4v4, but it's possible escalation plays better 4v4 in this game because there'd be less stalemates and there's more openings across the map. And I feel like a lot of stalemates happen because there's no room to work multiple lanes at every moment. Every lane is getting covered. If it isn't, there's literally 4 people flooding a lane for there to be a lane open, and that's a lot of people running through a lane. Like that's a lot of people.
A lot of people in one lane.
So.
That's a lot of utility, a lot of smoke, a lot of chaos.
Imagine they're pushing 4 people in a lane and you're matching 4 people. That's 8 people fighting in one lane, and then there's 2 people just staring at each other. Like I don't know, it's definitely up there for a discussion. So
the question is, how do we further the discussion? And I'm gonna throw back to the community, the pro players and all the community. Like I think if you want a legit shot at having this discussion, then more people gotta speak up about it. Because I've heard a little bit, but
I don't know if everyone agrees though. I can see there being a lot of pro players that feel like 5v5 is the way to go, and it's 5v5 isn't like the worst thing.
I want to talk to those guys. If somebody do think it is, I just want to bring them onto the hot seat. Yo, if you out there and say, yo, Blaze, I disagree with you and I think 5v5 is awesome, come defend your viewpoint. I'll even let you come do it right now if you want to. Hey, but I'm a part of that 4v4 train. Also, something I think would be cool, because let's say you did this at the off season, right? And it got reverted. If it can be reverted, it gets reverted. At that point, then you get these crazy storylines because somebody's getting dropped. You get more super teams. Okay, in the top 8 teams, one player gets dropped from all those squads. You get 2 new powerhouses made, probably, right? Two new top teams being made rather than Challenger Series competing for the top, whatever it may be. You get a nice little top 12 going on, right? You get a nice little top 12, top 16 going on. You get some and having more talented teams out there, scrimming more people. I can only assume that the amateur community is going to get better as time goes on.
I'm just saying, the last thing I'll really say on it before I let you move on to whatever. Imagining like a big part of the game too, as far as esports and viewership goes, is like making those stars. The star players, the big plays, and in a 4v4 setting in Gridiron, you have the opportunity for 1 player, 2 players to really shine in that game mode. and really make a name for themselves. And that gets people excited to watch that player and watch the team they're on. And it brings in more viewers. You know what I mean? It develops the game even more. So, my opinion on 44, I'll leave it at that. I'll let you talk about it if you want to. But 44, I'm starting a petition right now. If you want to sign it, sign it.
Hey, man. Hey, check this out. All I know is that I want my center line power weapons back, okay? We don't need Mad Hills. You can go 4v4 and bring King of the Hill back with some gridiron. I support that. We fix some fucking respawns around here. Shit, okay? We can still be playing for some hills.
King of the Hill needs more work than Escalation does.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about King of the Hill.
It does. Don't get me wrong. Like the respawns
King of the Hill makes me want to pull my hair out.
The respawns is
and I don't have much.
Like I'm all about like what I love about King of the Hill is just I love having multiple hills on the map. I love players having to rotate early, block off specific spawn points, and having the possibility of having 2 to 3 setups per hill. Right? Like all of that together. It makes an awesome experience, I watched our King of the Hill game the other day, Kenny, when we played Envious, and it was so crazy because the way that we were rotating, I think we were playing like 210 on the scoreboard. But once you got a lock, once somebody got that early lockdown on the hill and won a fight, we probably took 1 or 2 cracks to break it before the early rotation came in. But because we were so smart to rotate early. Of course, we were able to lock down probably about 50 more points to come back into it. And you had some of these big swing moments, and it was super dope to watch. And you also got your opponent, like trenches, for example. You get the bottom down low hill. We know it's going to either the top 2 corners. They got to break that setup early to rotate. But you also got the possibility of having your star player go in there and clutch a 1v2 to break it, and to go down there and save your team some points. It was a fun experience, man. I love a respawn game type, rather if it's Escalation or King of the Hill. But having a respawn game type of single elimination mode in 4v4 together has always been a sweet spot. No matter how creative we are doing so, that's ultimately the foundation, and I feel like I always work best with Gears Esports. So.
I don't know if you had another question that you're gonna bring up, but I know Signia asked this like 2 or 3 times a while ago.
Bring it in. What do you got? To say?
But he was questioning the like how we felt about the grand final, like the I don't think it was the double elimination. I think it was the going from losers.
Lead. I saw that. Yeah, having a 1-map lead in a front.
Yeah, and I wanted to give an answer to that because I think I also heard Fran and Icy say something about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to throw my 2 cents out there. Like the way I look at it, if you go through winners and you make it to grand finals, your advantage is you don't have to play through losers bracket, right? You didn't lose. You don't have to go play an extra match now. You're guaranteed a certain position. And then when that team comes from losers to go to grand finals, you have a map lead.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have a map lead. You get to choose which side you want. So you get to choose whether you want to ban first and pick second, or ban second and pick first.
Mm-hmm.
You pick first and third or second and fourth. That in itself is an advantage because if you choose to take, I think it's Team B, and you're up 1-0, you now get to ban second, so you see the map that the other team bans, and you get to pick your map first, which in theory should put you up 2-0 in the series, okay? And then you get to decide the third map. It'll it essentially will you can guarantee yourself the series with that process, I guess, it's
you can, because
saying it's not an advantage doesn't make sense.
You let them ban first, and then they take your map or not. You get the next ban, you get first map, it's your map. You go up 2-0, and then you get the third map as well. You got 1 map to play with on map 3. You get the third map to finish them off in the end. And this is and you talking about we never lost to the tournament, but and because of that, I get the 1 map lead in the finals. When we were talking about this on the last hot seat, I said that maybe the medium, the middle ground there is a best of 3 finals. My fault. Not a best of a best of 3 finals with 2 series with a continuation. Okay.
See, I don't agree with the continuation thing because why am I getting double penalized?
Continuation is the wrong word, right? Just 2 best of 3 series.
Oh, you just mean 2 best of 3s? Okay.
2 best of 3 series, and technically you're only adding an extra map in.
That's how a normal double limb bracket works.
You add an
which
extra
going
map
to
in.
any other game.
Which I don't. If they did that and you want to look at it this way, we can put it this way. If they pick Icebound and win that, then they won that, but then we won the next 2 maps, so then we're resetting the series and going to another best of 3, and we ended up winning another map after that to win the event, and if we don't even go to that third map which, like, if you look at it this way, if they picked Icebound in the second series,
Well,
and we got to
let's
pick
slow it
Bunker
down. Let's slow it
again,
down. Why are we talking
you know,
Icebound? Are you just talking about that?
yeah, I'm talking
Okay.
about that specific like grand finals. Like,
Okay.
I
Well,
don't see, I'll put my thoughts better out there, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't see the argument for not liking what was done when, if you put it to 2 best-of-3 series, I still think we win that. The way in which, like, the series went, like, I guess we were closing out the maps better than them or something. Like, I feel like we were playing better, and whether that's the way it is now or 2 best-of-3s, I think we're still winning that.
Okay.
Like, regardless.
Yeah. Now I'm not.
And
Now
I don't think it had to do with the series format, you know?
Now I'm personally not questioning if you guys could have won a best-of-3 series or if it was even fair in the finals. Well, or if it was good for you guys or not. I'm just saying. My question is that is there a bet? Do you think that it's fair to have the 1 map lead and just do the finals as we had it, or do you think that 2 best-of-3s is a better option? Is a fairer option? Let me say that. That's all I was saying.
Well,
And
I guess it's like, how much of an advantage do you want to give to the winners bracket team? Because I look at both as an advantage to the winners bracket team, regardless of how you look at it. Both of them are advantages. But how much of an advantage do you want to give to the winners bracket team? How much do you want to penalize that team for losing and reward that one team for winning? It's already a penalty that you're now in losers bracket playing more matches, and then you're going 2 grand finals down a map, right? Like, that's already a disadvantage in and of itself that, like, that's not easy to come back from. And then if you look at it the other way, where you go to grand finals and you have to beat the team in 2 best-of-3s, that's also not an easy thing to come back from, and that's probably the biggest advantage for the winners bracket team, to have to get, like, truly double eliminated, if that makes sense. If you're looking at double elimination tournament,
yeah.
that's what, like, that is, I guess. And
That's what
they
that
don't
is.
fully
And
get
I
double
think that's
eliminated.
my personal issue, because if I ain't gonna lie to you, if I was with y'all competing, I may have sent 1,000 emails on this shit, like, where it's just like, hold the hell up, now the team in the winners bracket, sometimes they just lose a few, they lose once, right? Like, if I went undefeated in the tournament and I just lost once right there, I'm just mad. But I guess, is it the reward of me going perfect for the first 2 days? Me personally, I like the 2 best-of-3 series, and you add the extra map in, and that way that team, the losers bracket team, I think it's they win the first series, cool. They got to win the next series. Is what you got to do. You got to beat that team twice if you want to take them down. Unless you just
That's how it always was. Like I said, that's how it was before. Back in Gears 4, they did that.
I feel,
But
I think it sucks for the winners team, right? I think it sucks for the winners team.
What? Yo, reverse it. Put them in losers bracket and put me in winners bracket then. And I'm sitting there, like, my reward is sitting in grand finals with a map lead and knowing that you have to beat me on 3 maps before I beat you on 2, and I know I have a for sure win on, like, whatever map.
True.
Because going to an event, you have a for sure win.
Yeah.
Like, I think that challenges a team's map pool more than anything else. Like, I will never agree that either of those circumstances sucks for the winner, like the winners bracket team.
Because what you explained to me when it came down to that pick and ban process, that is an advantage, right? That is a clear advantage of what they have.
Look at how it worked out, Blaze.
Yeah.
Quarantine, it went round 9, but Quarantine got exactly what they wanted. They got 1-0 map lead, and they won their map, or they won the first map.
And that's unfortunate for them, right?
I mean,
that's unfortunate for how they lost that one. That's on them, though. That's on them. But I'm just thinking of the process as a whole. The process as a whole for the winners and losers bracket team is what we got now the best way, or is 2 best-of-3s the best way? Regardless.
I disagree with that. I think Soaks put in that chat. He said the map win should be chosen, so the map they get to win for free should be chosen. No. That is actually
no, that shouldn't. You still go through a pick and ban process.
That is actually, like, at that point you're getting to now, like, ban 2 maps. And I know it's like, I think he said on his stream, he said they would have banned Exhibit, and then they would have picked Bunker as the map that they won. And I like that, to me, that is crazy, because that is like at what point, like, all right, like, when are you just really screwing over the losers bracket team? Like, at what point are they really at like if that was the case, that's better than them playing 2 best-of-3 series. Like that's a better advantage.
Okay. Yeah. Nah. I hear that.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like either way, like you could make the argument that the 2 best-of-3s is better for the winners bracket team by a little bit, but I think regardless how you put it, it's still an advantage for the winners bracket team. And if the format was like that for the next event, where the winners bracket team had a 1-0 lead, they get to choose. They also get the higher seed now, no matter what. They get the higher seed, and they get the whole pick and ban advantage. Like, I feel like that's enough of an advantage. Like how, like
Yeah.
the losers bracket team had to win through matches. They had to eliminate. We had to eliminate multiple people
Yeah.
to
Y'all went
get
through
to
it,
that
baby.
point. And then like what? Like at what point is it like, all right, like you kind of made up for your point of losing. Now you're in grand finals. You're still gonna be at a disadvantage, but like you've already dealt with your disadvantage enough, and their advantage is not having to play through that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I get you. And that's why we had these conversations. and that's why
That's
we
true.
have them, right? Like, I don't, and that's why we have them, and we go back and forth on them. And we talk about every aspect of it to make sure that we got the right aspect, to make sure that we got the right solution to whatever problem that we have. And that's why I enjoy that you guys at home are watching it, because I want you guys to hear how we're talking about this and how we see the game, so that when you guys go out there into your next Twitch chat or to your next Twitter timeline and you're arguing your point, that you guys got some intel to work with. And you got the perspective of players like Kenny.
I do want to say
Deluxe.
this is off topic here, Blaze,
It's okay.
but it's esports related, so I want to just put it out there in case, because we've been on here for a long time and we don't really know what's going on probably. But Team McGarthis has qualified for the Latin American Pro League.
I saw that. Yeah. So hey, much love to Team McGarthis and much love to Team 6. So I was actually very happy to see both those two teams were the ones that got qualified, because that's just gonna make the Latin American and European Pro League spicy. I got love for Obey Alliance, but for 3/4, we got what we got, right? Like, I'm looking for that to get spicy, because the other 3 teams were going back and forth with each other. And then the Garthas, the way that they pulled up, I'm happy that they shut it down and got E-Storm out of there. And even though it was kind of like a combo, I think some E-Storm players, because I saw Shockwave on the Garthas roster.
Well, they got Jax. They pretty much the only roster move that Garthas made was they picked up Jax from E-Storm, and I think he was the best player on their team too. So
they had Lyrics in. They had
maybe not Lyrics. I know they had Shockwave and Nero and the other guy. But I'm not sure about
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Lyrics, so I'll have to go back and check it out. But either way,
but
they definitely
regardless,
took
I'm
one
happy
player.
to have both those teams in the league, and of course, we got Payne and PDHM back in it as well. So that's gonna be fun. We got our pro league coming up is gonna be lit, y'all. All right, and with the conversation in which we had today, I hope that inspires a lot of you guys to get creative over these next 7 weeks, man. These next 7 weeks, every single team in our league can do something very unique. Rather if it's making players around you better who support you, doing something for your fans that support you, just doing something to help, increase the fan base for your team, putting out some whatever type of content, whatever it is, I just hope that you guys push the envelope a little bit for this last quarter of the Pro League. Push the envelope and try something new. All right? I'm pretty sure there's plenty of fans out here who will love to watch any content that you guys put out, okay? They waiting for it. They waiting to turn those notifications on. I'm like, all right, what these boys about to drop today? Is it an analysis of their weekly Pro League matches? Is it, just a little weekly check-in with the team on, what they're working on, how they getting better, whatever it may be, whatever you guys got to do. Let's just try to make it happen, okay? All right, man. I think it has been an awesome hot seat. This last there's only one question here left in the chat. Now, we don't got to go too much into it, but it's from Fran2. It says, being a pro and a caster, this is for the whole stream. Do you think that having a positive mentality of passion for your game makes all the difference? Does the pressure of being great turn into passion of playing? And what's the number one factor that you look into when finding potential talent and teammates? You definitely want somebody who is passionate about the game. I want all my teammates to be passionate about the game. And, And having a passionate, positive mentality is gonna make the difference because Sneak kind of said it earlier. Like, if you don't feel like playing, if you don't want to get on, or if you're not productive, it fucks with everybody, man. That passionate, positive mentality is contagious, and that's sometimes what's needed to push the team over the edge. If you guys got one toxic teammate, just say I love you. Say I love you. I know you ain't having a good day today. You want to get off today? You need a few hours. Want to take a break? Want to cancel our 7 o'clock so you can get it under control? All right, whatever y'all got to do. Talk to them with the same energy in which y'all giving back, okay? In which they giving back to you. Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys want to answer that. I think it was relatively simple on that one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. You want people who are gonna get on and be positive, want to get on every day. Like you don't want to think about talking to somebody that's just upset, like they get on and they just don't want to be where they are. It's like, all right, man, like go be happy,
Yeah, bro, go be happy. If this not where you want to be, like let us all know. We all go somewhere else where we want to be too, or we get somebody else who wants to be here. Ooh.
And the second part of that,
I'll get in the casting stuff. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the second part of that like when you and what's the number one factor that you look into? Does the pressure of being great turn into passion of playing? And what's the number one factor that you look into when finding potential talent in teammates?
Oh, my number one factor in
Icy.
Did Sneak unmute and then mute up just to say that?
Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. I've been playing mad, but I'm here. I've been listening. I'm here. But that was a good question. That's a really good question. It's a really.
Well, give me your answer then, Mister. Good question.
If I was looking for new talent, like in my opinion, I look for people who's the best teammate. Like I still to this day think that if you're a great teammate, like it'll show and it'll take you pretty far in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
The one thing that gets me and I've always struggled with is that I love teammates who are on the same page, right? And who are just as So I love teammates who are just as passionate about it as I am, who are on the same page and you know who are when you go over strategies, right? As soon as you send the first message out, like, yo, y'all trying to go over strategies this week? What time everybody free? That message in the group chat will let you know who really about that life. Okay, who jumping at the opportunity to go over some rotations and walkthroughs and talk high level of what's making us good and bad. Teammates who can have those conversations with me get me so excited, and I love them the most because I figure out it's a solution to every problem that we have. But who on the squad trying to figure this shit out? Who trying to try some new shit this week? Push the envelope. We know what worked. We know what don't work. Let's come up with some things, man. Like, and I will say that's why I always loved Kenny, because when me and Kenny used to go over strategies, he used to just, he was about it. We were sitting there. We were going over angles, smoke strats, corners. We was testing it all out, and we were putting it in. We were creating plans of strategy to implement them in scrims. So that process of the grind of we suck now, but in 3 months, we can be the shit. That right there, man. Whoever about that fucking grind, hit me up, because I'm down for it. Like, I love that. Hell, because, man, that it's just the feeling of accomplishment that you get from just doubling up on skill, man. All right, shit, yeah. So, all right, guys, yo. It's been great, man. Chat, y'all was awesome today. You guys have been awesome. Every single one of you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the conversations in which we had. I hope that you guys learned a thing or two. All the followers that came in, we got a sub here and there. I want to thank you all. I'll give you guys a nice little shout out here in a second. So, but going down the line, let's let everybody know where to find you guys and what's coming up next for you and any shout outs you guys got. We'll start this one off with Deluxe.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you, Blaze, for having me on the show. Really appreciate it, man. It's been 2 days in a row with you. Wouldn't have it any other way. You can find me at Deluxe House on Twitter. You see right there. I run the Gears Community Series, which is a community-ran tournaments for Gears. I have one coming up on Friday for Escalation if you want to check that out. And, there's a free coupon code. You can donate money to the prize pool for free. Doesn't cost you anything. Go on my Twitter. You'll see the info there, and it's free to play, free to sign up. We'll have a stream. Me casting with somebody else to be determined coming up on Friday.
Yeah, and make sure you guys, when you guys sign up for this tournaments and do that, honestly, the process is really simple. Like, you go and you follow everything that he says, and I don't know if it's like liking a tweet, whatever, but you instantly add money to the prize pool. Rather if it's 50 cents, $1, you just add the money to the prize pool. Everybody who plays in, you could add $20 to $50 to that shit with these. So you might as well do it if you guys are gonna play and support. But that's also another place for you amateur teams who are coming up to be able to play and possibly even get matched up against a top team, because we have seen a lot of top teams play in your tournaments, Deluxe. So that's another opportunity in which you guys get to play them and also get better. Practice.
Yeah,
makes perfect.
Kenny won 1 week with his team, and I had to send him money, unfortunately. So congrats to him.
There you go. So you
PayPal
guys
that
want a
money.
chance to play UYU, do that, or possibly you can queue up against them in ranking and get whooped up on.
Maybe even yourself, Blaze. We've seen you in there. Who knows?
Hey, maybe, you know, I be having to carry Gilbert in powers though, man, and praise. I don't know what it is about them, but they need Kenny, I guess. But anywho, Sneak, yo, shout outs for you.
I don't know who to give a shout out to, but shout out my teammates. Shout out my mama.
Mama.
Nah, let me stop playing. Yeah, but follow the stream. Follow my Twitter. That's about it.
What is it?
Oh. It's on.
And this is why we gotta
Is that
do
just
shows
sneaky?
like these to get y'all ready for the camera. ESPN hit you up and like, yo, Sneak, you a beautiful brother in esports. We want to get you on the mic to interview. I need to at least know that you had some reps in on a hot seat before you get there. Okay.
Alright, you got me right though. That's what I'm gonna tell him.
Yeah,
I'm
there
gonna tell him
you
you got me
go.
right.
But yo, you guys got
Twitch,
Sneak's
Sneaky.
Twitter on the screen.
Yo,
and
Kenny,
make
chill.
sure you guys go and give it a follow. All right. So that is awesome there. Oh my God, I got family members following the YouTube in there. That's pretty cool. But regardless, yo, so that's there. Shout out to them boys. And another shout out to Payne for making a pro league, and K-Bobs. Last but not least.
Follow me on Twitch and Twitter, Kenny Bounce. Pretty simple. Get me on the screen. And
Y'all,
am I supposed to give shout outs? Like, is that what we're
I don't
doing
know.
now?
You
Shout
want to,
outs?
shit. Whoever you want, you always good to give love.
I have to
and you
mute
got
my
an
mic right
opportunity
now,
to
Blaze.
give
Shout out,
love.
shout out my family,
Mute my mic right now.
teammates, UIU. You know where to find us.
Hey, you know
See
where
y'all
to
in the
find
Pro League.
You know where to find them. Okay. Well, much love to having all three of you guys here. Okay, and you know, you had a fantastic event, Kenny, 3.0 KD, and that was fucking awesome, yo. So congrats to you and your team. You guys all played phenomenal in the online major, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the Pro League. And lastly, for me, you guys can follow me at pretty much Guy Blaze on all social media. Guy Blaze Live Twitter, Guy Blaze Instagram, and Blaze on Twitch. Just remove a word after each one and you'll get me an extra one. But hey, I love you guys. Yo, thank you for watching the Hot Seat. That's going to do it for this episode, and I will see you guys next time.